Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. It is Thursday, April 2nd. North American stock futures are racing early gains after yet another record weekly U.S. jobless claims number out at 8:30 this morning. Man, big miss as far as the weekly jobless claims number is concerned. 3.5 million expected for last week came out greater than 6.2. So a huge weekly jobless claims number in the U.S. last week, dragging all futures back to the downside. We were solidly higher right across the board. They were expecting between 4 and 5 million, and this number coming out between or just over 6 million. So big move in equities to the downside as a result. We're also seeing Luckin Coffee shares tumbling this morning, 84% now to the downside after misconduct. Yeah, big time red arrows for Luckin Coffee. Misconduct allegations surrounding their COO. So we'll get to that coming up. Energy stocks offsetting this sell-off this morning. Price for crude oil up about 10%. A lot of the energy names following suit, up nicely, 5, 6, 7% gains for the individual names. Some of the travel stocks were higher, seeing a lot of those, including some of the cruise lines coming back to the downside today as well. Lots to get to today. Arun is in for Neil today. Neil taking a much-deserved day off. There's the guys, all three of them. Good morning, guys.
Neil's doing daddy daycare. Let's call like it is.
It's a much-deserved day off. Neil, I got you covered.
If anybody deserves it, it would be you first, Brendan, then Neil, then myself. But hey, we'll shout out to Neil. I know he's watching now, so yeah, he's fine. And Arun is in the building. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. You know what? It's finally nice to be behind the desk. It's been a long time.
Yep.
Missed it for a while. You know, it's a lot.
Hit the fireworks.
Sometimes you need a break, and Neil gets his break. So here I am, right?
Yeah, no, and you know what, guys? Right now, big time mover here. Thank you for Brendan bringing this to my attention and bringing it to everybody else's. Look at Luckin Coffee right now. This is a name that we trade often on the show, and yeah, bye. So whatever happened to these guys, COO misconduct. Look at this drop, guys. $27 to $4. So your boy went long. So I'm long right now, $4.35. Right now it's at $4.55. So we just got a little bit off. Also, big jobless number here, trading the spiders, SPY. We made a little bit of a mess here going long, got out right away, and reversed to the short side, and was able to capture a little bit of money on that one. Arun, I know you were trading a little bit of the futures. Were you able to make anything on that move?
You know what? It's moving pretty quickly. I'm going to try to stay out of it. I am looking at the short, though. Right now, the futures, the NASDAQ futures are about 74.58. I'm looking at resistance about 75.30. So if it comes up a little bit and starts to hesitate and find some selling in there, I'm definitely going to be getting in some more here.
All right. I just lost my feed. But Brendan, why don't you take it away? I know we have Laura coming, hopefully, from the TMX, followed by Lawrence Rose from Omega. So it's a little bit of a Canadian heavy market day for us, but we'll be trading everything today, and it should be a great one. I mean, look, we had this big economic number, and now some symbols moving around everywhere. So Brendan, take it away, bud.
Yeah, market's still in positive territory here, but obviously well off the highs following the weekly jobless claims number, as we mentioned. Big time miss for that number. Yeah, Laura Henschke coming up in a few minutes here from the TMX group. We'll touch base with them. We also have Lawrence Rose from Omega coming up at 11:20 today, also here in Toronto. Let's get into some markets. We'll have a look at the APAC region first, see how things shaped up overnight over in Asian markets. Still a little bit of a mixed story here. Past couple of sessions have been up, they've been down, they've been all around. You can see Australia back in negative territory, once again 4% to the downside. We did see a nice jump in crude prices, so interesting to see Australia back in the red there. Shanghai and Hong Kong positive territory with the Nifty lower, and we had Korea back to the upside. Let's go over to Europe and see how things are shaping up over in the European landscape so far. Pretty muted. A lot of these were higher when I sat down this morning, but back in negative territory now after this big move down in U.S. futures. Spain leading the way, it looks like 1.4% to the downside. Italy, the only one still holding on to positive territory. Let's have a look at North American markets here and see how things are shaping up now. Yeah, still higher, but definitely off of the highs from the morning. 0.6% for the S&P, the Dow, NASDAQ, just barely hanging on to positive territory there. The TSX futures here in Toronto, 1.05% to the upside. All of that gain being made up by the bottom. If you scroll down a little bit there, crude oil 10% to the upside after President Trump said late yesterday he believes Saudi Arabia and Russia will come to an agreement as far as their price-fixing war goes for the crude markets in general, which has really been dragging down crude oil prices. Also, obviously, a lack of demand with a lot of people staying home, hurting crude oil prices. So we're going to have an interesting day as far as energy names are concerned. Let's head over to the TMX Group and check in with Laura Henschke and see how things are shaping up. Obviously, joining us from home once again this week. Hey, Laura, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Fantastic. It's been a busy week. We had this big number out this morning, so we're seeing obviously a little bit of negativity returning to the markets after a nice, what was going to be a positive session today. We'll see how things shape up. How has the week been over at the TMX? Obviously, still increased volatility, increased volumes. How have things been for the TMX?
They've been really good, actually. The volatility is working in our favor. We're seeing record volumes across all of our venues the past couple of weeks, so can't really complain about that.
Yeah, it's obviously moving back to the upside over the past, couple of sessions, end of last week as well. Any particular names or sectors that have stood out as far as doing increased volume, maybe?
Increased volume, we're seeing a lot of oil and gas. So Cenovus, Enbridge, Husky Energy have been doing really well. Actually, the month of March, we saw amazing numbers for oil and gas. It went from our total volume 7.3% up to 12.2% at the end of the month. So oil and gas is trading a lot. Another big one is weed stocks. They're doing really well. For month of March, they went from 2.3% up to 5.6% of our total volume. So
it was interesting to see as soon as the government came out and said that the cannabis space and cannabis shops in general are essential services and can stay open during this quarantine and during the social distancing rules. All of these stocks kind of had a nice move back to the upside, so good to hear. As far as the dark volumes are concerned, how have those been doing over the past week or so? When last we spoke, you were noting a little bit of an uptick in the dark side as well.
Yeah, we actually had a record volume in March. 51.1 million shares traded and average market share of 3.6% on dark. So new record, and we're very happy about that.
Is it the lower price stocks possibly that are still popping up as far as the dark orders are concerned and dark volume is concerned, or is it right across the board?
It's right across the board. Actually, we're seeing a lot of the oil and gas and energy. The ones I mentioned before, Husky Energy is a big one that's been trading in the dark, as well as Meg Energy. That's another big one that we've been seeing a lot of over the month. So not just the lower price stocks, but everything.
Great stuff. Laura Henschke from the TMX Group. We'll let you get back to work. We missed your assistant today. I was looking forward to your assistant. If you joined us last week, Laura had her cat helping her.
She was sitting beside me.
Yeah, there we go. In honor of your cat, I hope she's around. Anyways, Laura Henschke from the TMX Group. Always a pleasure. Have a great day.
Bye, guys. You too.
There we go, guys. Let's head over to U.S. markets now. We'll have a look at some individual names that are moving around in the pre-market. Guys, I think we should maybe start with Luckin Coffee here. I was just going to maybe, Robbie, if we can jump into my screen. I was just going to put up this story so everyone can have a look at this news that came out at 8:53 as far as Reuters is concerned here. Luckin Coffee shares down 84+% in the pre-market. A special committee, independent special committee, finding misconduct with the COO and several employees as well. So obviously not a good look as far as LK is concerned. Sean, you touched on it briefly there. Why don't we have a look at LK and see how we can approach this one today?
Yeah, I just fell down on this stock, but it's okay. We broke through that $4 level. That was one little spot that I wanted to look at here. Wow, the futures continue to head southbound, so we're still short to spiders. That's $1.70 in the money, but we put a little bit of play money to work here on Luckin Coffee. And look, we try to defend that 25 spot, 24. We were just defending $4, taking longs ahead of $4.25. It breaks through 4. It kind of looks funny, the chart, because it's just so dramatic of this drop down. Maybe if I zoom in just a little bit more, you can see this is a little bit better. Breaks $4. We get out. Now it's back to $4.12. Look. 33 million shares. Check the daily chart on this thing. I mean, it's going to look ridiculous after all said and done. Luckin Coffee up to $50 back in January. comes crashing down. Remember, this is the discount coffee brand there over in China. So, oh, darn it, right back up to $4 again, $4.25. So we do get out. I mean, look at this thing. It's moving around like crazy. I don't think there's really going to be a trade. I was just playing around here in the pre-market, but I really think that if you get above this little wick here where they tried to break $5, that might be something to look at. Let's take a quick look before we go over to Arun here. Is there anything on imbalance? This is New York imbalances. So, of course, Luckin's a NASDAQ stock. CCL, I know we'll be getting to that soon, but there's a big imbalance on that stock. And here's my spiders position. And just for you guys, so you know what the spiders is, that's the ETF for the S&P 500. We are short now right here, 246.33. So it's a nice $1.40 in the money for us. We did cash in on a beautiful short right here, 248 all the way back to the downside. But it's been a wild morning so far. Arun, were you able to take any of that Luckin coffee?
No, you know what? The thing with Luckin for me is by the time I got to it, it was so far down, right? And it's gone, what, from $27 down to $4, and now they're trying to figure out where to go with prices. And my concern here as well, when this kind of thing happens with misconduct, the SEC tends to step in at some point and say, you know what, we're going to stop. All trading is halted, and that's my only concern with this. I would love a short, but if that happens, there's going to be an issue with positioning, right?
Right.
So I'm going to try to stay away from this. If it goes up now, that's a different story. That means the news may have shifted, something new may have come out. So until, like you said, Sean, if we get above that 5, I may want to dabble in that if we get above 5. But if we stay at this price or we keep going down, I'm going to stay away. There are other stocks in play. The cruise lines, the airlines, there's a lot going on today, and I'm sure Brendan's going to get to that. So for now, I'm paying attention to the futures, and we'll see what Brendan has to say.
Yeah, we'll jump into some energy names here as well, guys. We saw on the quote board there, 10+% move for crude oil. Again, Trump coming out late yesterday saying that he believes Saudi Arabia and Russia will come to an agreement as far as the price war goes in the energy markets. We're also still seeing, obviously, lower demand for gas at the gas stations because of the quarantine and stay-at-home orders right across the globe. A lot of these individual names moving with the price for crude today. Guys, I just brought up XOM here. I mean, we can look at really any of these. Obviously, a big move down in the market itself, kind of dragging these back to the downside. But XOM, first off, Sean, I'll throw this one over to you. 3.5% still in positive territory.
Yeah, and still in positive territory. As you mentioned, oil right now up almost 9% today. So obviously XOM is going to make that move. But the sad thing about this all, and wow, look at, I mean, my spiders position, we're short here, guys, 246.26. We're at 244 and change. The market right now turns red there about 5 minutes ago. And yeah, that's sad because when I woke up, we were up about 400 points. But all right, back to XOM. Okay, XOM, yeah, look, this oil name, it's one of my favorites if you're going to dig in and buy some value. I think XOM, big dividend, they're a strong player, probably the best balance sheet of them all. There's also Chevron. Of course, we talked about that yesterday with Kevin O'Leary on the show, trying to find some value. But look at this little drop here from $40. I actually wanted to go long if we could stay above this and maybe take this $40 out, but now we're at 38 and change. On a daily chart, it looks pretty good. It's bounced a lot. A lot of these oil names have bounced quite a bit. This is $30 bottom here, up to 38. Just look, these are the gap areas that we're trying to fill right here, right, guys? So as you can see, $40, this is why I like the $40 range, because we gapped in here one day 42 all the way down to 40, and we actually opened the day 40.19. So that was kind of a level 40 and a quarter that I was looking at. If we remove the daily chart though, and you see this little drop down here, 38.50, maybe that's going to be the spot that we can protect for once. So we'll see about this 38.50. It's printing it right now. If we get above 39 though, I'm going to go long, and here is the oil chart. I know Arun probably will talk a little bit about oil as well, but if I can just expand this out. Oil now moving to the south side once again. Whoa, nice little move. Wow, okay. Oil 21. I don't know if you can see this on the screen too much. Yeah, you can. Good. 22.45 here. The high 22.60 all the way down to 21 and change now. So oil giving back a lot of this move that it's already made. Wow, these futures, guys, just keep on cracking. We're $3+ now in the money on this futures trade. Arun, were you looking at the oil contract this morning at all?
No, actually, unfortunately, I was not. I was, for all of you traders that are out there just starting out, be prepared, because I was not prepared. I came and sat down and I was scrambling to get my charts together and I missed out a lot. Sean jumped on those spiders. He's paying attention to oil. Me, I'm still trying to get my things together, right? So unfortunately, no, Sean, I was not on that. But
you know
I am looking at them now. And you know what? The thing with crude right now is it is starting to break down. I'm looking at maybe around $22. Right now, we're just under that price. If you decide to take a short here, I still got to figure out the rest of the charts now. If we decide to take a short here, the stop I would put is about $22.25. So it's about 25 cents to the upside in terms of risk. Downside, obviously, you got about what, 30 before you hit the first support level, and then you got about another 20 cents after that. So there's a good risk-reward ratio for a short-term trade on the crude contract right now. Now you can also trade the oil stocks, Exxon, like you mentioned, Sean, Exxon, and all the other companies that are there. For now, I really like the action in the future, so I'm really going to try to pay more attention and try to get a position here and make up for the lost ground by starting the day off unprepared.
Arun, I'll put you on the spot here a little bit. Obviously, we went from up 3% to down now almost a full percent on most of these futures contracts. Why don't you have a look at, I know you like to look at the NASDAQ typically. Why don't you have a look at the NASDAQ and see how we approach today, now down obviously a full percent or nearly a full percent.
Okay, so the way we start the day off says a lot about how we're going to, well, not most of the time, it does say a lot about how we're going to start or continue the day. Now, an aggressive move to start the day, well, I would expect a lot of volatility given that we're taking out yesterday's lows as well. And considering that it's been a buyback kind of session for the last week or so after a massive drop, is today the day where we actually just start crashing as all the buyers that have been buying finally get pushed out of the way? It could be one of those kind of days, right? When you start like this, that's what you're looking at. You're looking for high volatility. It would really surprise me if this market all of a sudden opens up, trades for half an hour, and dies, right? Absolutely no volume. So this is the kind of day where you're like, you know what? There's going to be some volatility. Be prepared for it. And I'm just going to be looking at, yes, I'm going to be looking at the futures contracts, but at the same time, I will be looking at the stocks today because the stocks are moving. There's a lot happening in a lot of different stocks, right? So everything is in play at the moment. When things start to slow down, then we can shift into different areas and try to make use of the movement there.
All right, guys, we'll shift over to some of the travel names. When I sat down this morning, CCL was actually in positive territory significantly. Got back about 950 in the pre-market. Just having a look at the chart right now, 9.5% to the downside for CCL. They announced this morning they cut their equity raise in half. So they had a big offering yesterday. I believe it was $8. They sold a whole bunch of shares at $8. Reversing these early gains here, Sean, I mean, the market obviously dragging these things back to the downside, but that was a big move from where we were in the pre-market.
To say the least. We got out of our spiders trade there for a nice little $2.40 winner, so we hit the bullseye on that one. We did go back short though, and now we're 30 cents in the money on that short as well. So spiders have been destroyed so far today. If you're noticing at the bottom, I just want to clarify something. Until we get it all figured out, the position board and everything at the bottom is going to be wrong. Neil is not trading, and I think my positions are showing up as Arun's, and Arun's will probably show up as Neil. So just to clarify that as we get going. But all right, now that I look at CCL, yeah, man, I mean, they raised $6.25 billion with an $8 share offering, over 62 million shares. This name has been absolutely destroyed. We are now basically, I think, and I'm going to go out on a limb here and probably say this is all-time lows, if not when it IPO'd, which we have to go back and find that. But $7 right here, and 95 cents is where we're ticking down to. We did tick as low as $7.63. This is lower than the crazy day of March 18th, where we did touch 8 before bouncing a double back up to 19. Now we start just getting crushed today as the virus worries continue. They raise those shares, so more money, more shareholders coming into play here. The one level that I wanted to look at was this little blow off right here, 810. If we can get above 810, and I think we can do that, so that may be a little aggressive. So if you want to be a little more cautious, wait until we get above this 850, 825 or so area on CCL. That looks good. I want to bring to everyone's attention before we go, though. Look at this. There's still, even, despite all this chaos in the market right now, still a nice little 1.15 million share buy imbalance. And what these imbalances mean, guys, is straight off the open, there are market on open orders that get sent to the NYSE, and the market makers, well, DMMs now, a lot of them, they're at home, the floor is closed, but these orders have to get filled on open. So there's going to be a flush, and you can see here, look at all these bids lining up here. I'll take this off, but maybe I can make this a little bit bigger. This is a live level 2 screen, so those of you guys that don't have access to this kind of information, that's why you follow us right now, because we get to see all of these orders coming in here through ARCA, through NASDAQ, through New York Books, and there is a big guy here at $8 even. There's the million shares sitting right there. So we're going to see that get marketed, and it looks like the price will be right around here, $7.97. Wow, 30 million shares are in the building already for CCL. I'd love to go long this name, but I am going to wait until it settles down just a bit.
A couple of people asking about possible long opportunities. Obviously, sentiment, drastically shifting here towards the negative side. But if we are, looking to the long side, Sean, we'll pull up Disney here. Walt Disney upgraded today at Atlantic Equities to overweight from neutral. They said that they believe the recent weakness in the stock has definitely been overdone. What do you think of Disney today, Sean?
So I liked it through 96 before, again, we had that epic jobs number come through. So I did like it up here at 96. It kept bouncing right here. Not a bad level at all. If we can zoom out to yesterday, there was a 96 top. Maybe I can zoom out still. Here it is right here, 96.17. So this is kind of the level that I was hoping for, 96.20, 96.17 or so. Yeah, baby, luck and coffee going upside here. We're long 420. We'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, so right now on Disney, man, I mean, you can play a 95 break. Again, for me though, guys, I want to be long this name, and I think that we've put in some bottoms here. The futures may have also bottomed at 24.25, so I'm thinking that this is kind of a safe play here. If you can protect the bottom, this 93.60, it's only $1 right now. It's printing 94.60, so you give yourself a little bit of room, and I think we can get back to 97. I mean, sure, it was upgraded. It's a stock that everyone loves once the market gets back going. Big-time revenue sources coming through. Disney Plus is huge. Obviously, right now with the streaming war going on. Their theme parks were booming before this happened, and we know what happened with Frozen 2. A lot of big movies coming through, so I still love Disney to the long side. And Arun, I see in our chat that you're all set up and good to go. Were you able to get a look at Luck and Coffee, the futures, or anything right now, as we only have 7 minutes now till open?
Yeah, no, Luckin I'm still staying out of, Sean. Like I said, unless it crosses that 5, I'm not stepping in just yet. We're getting closer and closer to that. If we cross that 5, I will take a look at it. Disney, on the other hand, I think that's a little range bound for me. For me, I think we're stuck between what the high of about 97.50-ish all the way down to the low from yesterday, which is around 92.50. So you got about $5 inside. I'm willing to take a trade outside of those bands. For now, I'm going to stay away from Disney. Something that did interest me, though, is that CCL that you were talking about.
Yeah, buddy.
We are trying to put some sort of a but some sort of a sideways ceiling in here at 810.
Yeah.
And there's a gap, I think, between 810 and 825.
There you go.
For me, if I'm willing to take a trade, if I want to take a trade, I'm either looking to take a short in that 8 to 815 area with the stop at 825 with the short, or if it breaks, I'm willing to take that long and use the bottom of about 780 as the stop on the long.
Booyah. So we're definitely on the same page there. If anybody watching, that's what we like, man. We like CCL above 810, above 825, shorted until it gets to those spots. But right now, CCL getting hit. Oh, the other point about CCL, guys, it's going to be SSR. So don't forget about that. What that means is short sale restricted. Which camera are we on? Oh, there we are. Hey, well, whatever we are. Short sale restricted means, guys, that it's down more than 10% from yesterday, and it's going to be that now today. So you're not going to be able to hit the bid as much as you would want to. So you got to make sure that you get aggressive there and cross all the way down. I did just update you guys on luck in here. I took some out there. I'm long at 420. It's going to be hard to zoom into this one because of this drop, but we did get some out at 860 right there for a nice little 40 penny winner. So we were long about 425, got out on that $4 break when it did break $4 right here. Then I noticed some resistance and get right back at 420 and now ride this to the top side. I am light on it though because I'm nervous. Arun, great point there. You don't want want to be stuck in something like this, 50 million shares, when the SEC hasn't even had a word yet. So we are going to wait to see. This stock probably gets halted for more information pending. So I'm hoping this thing can get to $5 before that halt comes, but the halt can come in 5 minutes. Brendan, any more names for us, bud?
Yeah, let's have a look, guys, quickly here. A couple minutes to go at some of the airlines. They were all, as a group, kind of higher in the pre-market. Again, all coming back to the downside here. Boeing, I want to touch on Boeing specifically. They announced a voluntary layoff plan allowing eligible employees to leave the jet maker with pay and benefits package. So Boeing now down 2.25%. It was starting the morning in positive territory, guys.
I mean, Boeing is, wow, talk about a fun stock to trade the last couple of days. I was loving the short through 130 yesterday, and you can see this little level right here. Kept bouncing off 130, then eventually, guys, in the aftermarket, it broke. So this was a great long yesterday, bouncing off this 130, and then today, we're right there again. So I love Boeing here to the long side if it can get above this 130. You can see the bottom here, 130 again, and this morning at 8:40, comes down, hits 130, done. Then when it breaks it, obviously, it just crashes down $3. So I like Boeing to the long side, 8:30. There goes Luckin Coffee right now, a 55-cent winner. So let's see if we can't keep the train rolling on that one. Any thoughts on Boeing there, Arun?
For Boeing, I agree with you. It is a potential long, but I disagree with you in terms of price location there, Sean. I think the top end is about 132.50. So until we can break that, I'm going to try to actually look for the shorts there. I know me and you trade a little differently. I try to hold my positions a little bit longer and kind of let them go a little bit. So the losses are a little bit bigger and the winners are a little bit bigger. But you know what, Sean? Me and you, we'll keep an eye on this.
Is that a challenge, Arun?
We'll keep an eye on this throughout the rest of the day and see who comes out ahead on this stock.
Yeah, no, exactly. And as you guys may or may not know, we work for a prop firm here, Day Trade the World. So we're flat at the end of every single day. So like Arun just mentioned there, it is a slippery slope sometimes managing these things. Wow, Luckin Coffee right now, $4.82, guys. This is now a 63-cent winner. So we're going to wait to see if this can get near 5. I may dump everything, put the 80 cents in my pocket and move on. Only 3 minutes until we open up here, Brendan.
One more to go here, guys. We'll go to small cap world. Didn't mention really anything in small cap world. So Neptune Therapeutics up 42% in the pre-market. This is a Canadian company. You can trade it both on the NASDAQ or here in Toronto on the TSX. 42% to the upside. Guys, they announced a plant-based hand sanitizer that has been cleared by Health Canada. So that is going to hit the markets fairly soon. 160 up to about 175. Bit of resistance here. Already breaking down a bit if you're watching the one on the NASDAQ. Obviously going to open fairly shortly here on the TSX as well, guys.
Plant-based hand sanitizer. Sounds good. So we'll check out Neptune right there as well. There was another one that was moving around. BMRA on NASDAQ right now. We just take out Luckin, and that is a banger right there. So Luckin, we already exploding that money for Luckin there. Nice little 70-cent win. Just took it off at 90, some of them. BMRA here with a, what was their story again? Oh, FDA clearance for lab tests here for COVID, obviously. So now that you're seeing BMRA up 25%, a nice little rocket ship, $7 yesterday. Cracks this 1025 spot. If it can get back there, then I'd be all over this thing. But right now it's pulled back quite a bit here, coming back to 880. It's not really my cup of tea on this kind of a stock. I know Neil likes to look at these. If it can fade back in here, what a great short through 860 BMRA. If you're looking for a short, bye-bye, Luckin. Hopefully that can break $5 right now. But 870 on the short here for BMRA. If you like it, make sure you got Boros. But yeah, look at the market, guys. Straight back to the top side here. Nice little move from 24.25. We talked about that, maybe getting that put in. That's going to help out our Disney thought as we get ready for the open here. What was our thought? 96 and change. Look at this. I said you could use 93.60 as a bottom. If you wanted to get jiggy with it, you could have took that in the pre-market. But right now, we will wait to see if we break 96 to the top side. All right, why don't we go over now? We are going to be ringing our bell in about 30 seconds or so. Who's on the bell today? It's Valeria is on the bell, so we'll see everyone's favorite chat Maestra is what we're trying to call him. If you have a better name for her, let us know, because Chat Maestra, I'm not sure what that exactly means, but that's good to go. She's working the chat. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, guys. We're on YouTube every single day. Support us. We're over 5,000 subscribers, 4,000 subscribers right now, and the bell's about to drop here with only 15 seconds to go. Disney, I'm still looking at that. I'm going to let everything cool down. Microsoft 153, I got you in my sights as well. Valeria 5. Uh-oh, do we have Valeria camera? It's about to ring. The opening bell's about to hit. 2 and 1. Hit the bell if it's there, Valeria. Let's go. The only thing we got on right now is luck and coffee. Let's see what happens to the upside here as the market's going to go. We also want to look at Uber as well, and I'm waiting for Microsoft to hit this. Look at this, 153. This is the top right here. If we can do that, I love Microsoft, one of my favorite stocks to trade. So we're going to see if that one can get busted through here. 153 and change. Looks like it's coming up right now, Arun.
Yeah, you know what? I'm actually keeping an eye on RCL right now. Royal Caribbean Cruises here. I'm trying to get that long at 53 here with the stop around 25.30. I had a pre-market. Didn't really work out. It took a 10-cent hit on that one. I got my longs. I got a nice support here around at 50 with 27,000 shares supporting my bid. So you know what? Somebody else is thinking the same thing I am, and hopefully this guy stays with me here. So I got about 20 cents on the wrist. Well, he's gone. So I still got space. There's still some buying here. So I'm going to hold on to this one. I'll take a 20-cent hit if I need to. And while at the same time, I've got BA, Sean. Your favorite stock is actually at 130. What are you going to do?
Guys, we are back in the building. I ain't going to do nothing with BA. Look at Microsoft right here. 153 long, and booyah! That's how we do that stock. We take that nice little $1.30, $1.40 winner on that one. Luck and coffee. Hello! Look at this bid. $5.62. Your boy is long at $4.18. There's the halt. See ya, Luck and coffee. We're going to see what happens right there. And oh yeah, Boeing, we long that one as well. We're long 130. I did take that. We put our money where our mouth is a little bit there, taking that 130 long. However, we did not take any out. Thanks for bringing that to my attention there, Arun. I did notice that we did get all the way up to 131, but I'm long Boeing right now, long Microsoft right now, and long Luck and coffee. And what that means is it's floss time, because that's 3 for 3, 3 monster winners to start the day, guys. Let's just hope that Boeing can follow through. There's 80s on Microsoft. We're still going to the top side here, guys. This still continues to go. Make sure you send us some messages on the chat. Let us know how you're feeling today. This market just continues to go upside here. I have this Disney long. Do not have Disney long. Let's check out Disney. What did that do breaking through? Did not break 96. Okay, so that's a level that we're going to look at here. It touches 96 and then falls right back down.
Oh, Sean, I got to interrupt you on this one. RCL now taking off. That's $1. I just got this position. It was down about 20 cents or so.
Attaboy.
Held on. Here we are, 66 cents now if I punch out with the cross.
What's CCL doing?
Mind you, the spread is at about 25 cents right now, so I'm not going to cross down. I'm going to let this thing play out, see where it's going to go. Right now, I'm also got a bid here on WBA, Wall Boots.
Yeah, Boots Alliance.
Yeah, Boots Alliance. I can't even say the name properly.
He's excited.
I got the bid out at 40.75, trying to get that fill. It's sitting around. I don't want to cross. The spread is about 10 cents, so I don't want to get too aggressive with this one just yet. So I'll sit, see if they can give me. I do like my prices. That's the thing you're going to realize when you watch me trade, is that I like my prices and I want my prices, and I just got my price. So now I'm willing to put up 40, just under 40. Actually, I'm putting the low, which is about 39.83 as my stop. So I'm out about 20 cents right now. We'll let this thing play out. RCL has come back a little bit. I'm holding on to this one as well. I haven't paired off anything yet. So that one's still in the money. WBA is now out of the money. It's moving around. We'll let that one play out, and we'll see how the rest of the, I'm still looking around for stocks. Starbucks is also moving. Hey, Brendan, you got anything for us to help us out here?
Yeah, I was going to actually mention that Starbucks are up nicely, even with the market.
Am I not logged into this?
7% in positive territory to the upside for Starbucks here. We just broke 67. They announced they are extending U.S. closures of Starbucks restaurants for another 2 weeks, guys.
And guys, right here, we're hitting home runs, we're hitting slap shots, we're hitting cowbells, everything. You guys know I love Microsoft, and woot woot, here we go, hit the siren. Look at this at 154.60. This is our only long, 153 and change. I tried, it didn't even give me all the shares I wanted there, so that was a little bit of a problem, but that's still going to the upside. Our Luck and coffee halted, you guys know that. That's a monster trade. And guess what? Here goes Boeing, let's go Boeing. Bang, there's 90 cents right there on Boeing. As the market trying to get going here, we are positive positive now, 1%. Let's go Boeing, guys. Long 130 and change. If I can put up my update, my scoreboard right here, we'll see if I can do that. Yeah, let's throw this on here. If we can, I'll come to camera 2 right now for you guys if you want. Here we go. Boeing right now, look at this long, 129.96, guys. Dollar in the money. CCL, 21 cents in the money. We got to get more of that. Luckin Coffee, $1.50. And Microsoft, $2. Let's go. This stock market is nuts. Did CCL finally open? Yes, it did, and it's ripping here, Arun. This is exactly what we thought.
Yeah, you know what? CCL is getting to that price.
Oh,
you know what? I'm glad you pointed that out to me because I did not see that at all, and I missed that entry. I was looking at all these other ones that are moving around right now. I got to pay attention to WBA. I got to keep an eye on the profits on RCL. And you know what? At the same time, I missed my entry on CCL. Sean, you enjoy that ride. I am actually now looking at BA here. It's coming up very close. Looks like you got that great entry. I'm looking to see if we can take that 32.50 out, and if we do, I'm taking that long.
Yeah, bang, bang here. We put it in the chat there. We get long here. Our CCL long now is at 825. Unfortunately, we didn't notice that stock opened up. I was waiting for it to open. It actually opened at 933. We were just too busy doing other things. But guess what, guys? Woohoo! Microsoft still, it touches 155.20. We're still in this money. We're still in this position. A good little trade there. Boeing, we're long at 129.96. And that one touches 132. Let's see. This is the area that Arun liked up here, 132 and change. We'll see if it can break that. It looks like it will want to do that. So that'll be great. Look at the futures going to the top side here. CCL coming back down a little bit. Could give us another opportunity. We did get out at 43, so that was a banger. We'll wait to see if it comes back down to 810 here, and now it's moving though the wrong direction. We'll take some more out here at 27, which we just do. Now let's see what happens. See if we can get back down to 810 here on CCL. That's the name of the game here if we like that. I'm still long this Luckin Coffee. I hope you guys are as well. That was a banger. We'll see what happens. Obviously, Brendan, let me know if there's anything on this. Obviously, this is a price movement. We're down now 78%, but it could also be information pending. This may not even open up today. But we are long at $4.18. So I may get out of this Boeing. It's just stopped there at 132. Maybe I'll put an order at 131.50. See if we can't drop some of that because we got to make sure to capture the majority of our profits here on this upstring. We're 4 longs and we are 4 for 4. So my wife who's watching, it is possibly right now a chicken dinner winner. So maybe we'll have some chicken tonight, guys.
All right, guys. Yeah, we'll jump into Apache here. I was talking a little bit about the crude oil markets coming back to the downside there, but bouncing along with equities. So Apache 15% still kind of holding up a little bit better than the rest of this group at the moment. Have a look at Apache. No news yet on the Luckin halt, Sean.
Okay, no news on Luckin Club. That's no problem at all. We're still watching most of these positions here. My Microsoft is fading back in a little bit here. We did get as high as 155 and change. Check these futes out right now. The futures, the S&P 500. Neil normally looking at NASDAQ. I'll talk about the ES right now. It touches that 24.75. Like, what a surprise today, guys. This is what happens. 24.25 to the bottom, and now all the way back to 24.75. So what a surprise. It stops on those nickels, or those quarters, sorry. The 75s and the 25s at the bottom. So we have to watch out a little bit here. Microsoft fading back in. We still are long 153.10. We may take a little bit out here if it breaks down below 153.50 to make sure we capture some of our profits. But Boeing coming back now may break that 130 back to the downside here. I don't want to get too carried away. We can't get out on any little market dip down, but there is nothing wrong with taking a little bit of profits here, guys.
Yeah, you know what, Sean, my position, let's update my position. You know that CCL that I missed?
Yep.
Well, you know what, it came back. I left my order there. I took the fill. I got 825s long. Like I said, if that 825 breaks, I want that long. I missed the entry. I put the order in. It came back. Trade's still good. Got the entry. Hopefully we get a runner now. My stop on that is about 780. So I'm risking about 45 cents here for the expectation that I can get at least $1 here on the upside. The other one, the RCL that was running, well, you know what? I got that one out. We got in at about, what, 53, I believe. I got in at 53, yep. And I got it at 26.12. So you're looking at about 70 cents there, or 60 cents there. Easy profit. That took, what, maybe 5 minutes after the market opened? It wasn't that long I was in that position. So you see those trades, they're going very quickly. Also, WBA held on. Was out of the money for a bit. Now it's coming right back. It looks like this setup is even better. You know, sometimes when it doesn't go the first time and it kind of takes its time to load up, when it actually goes, the move is that much more aggressive. And hopefully that's what's setting up here on WBA. So you know what? I'm going to wait this out. While I'm waiting, I'm going to go to Brendan and let's see what he has to say. Help me find some more trades.
Just found Applied Materials, guys. AMAT moving back to the upside. Broke 43 there on that last little dip, but quickly retook 43. AMAT was a downgrade on this name today, but definitely holding up a little bit stronger than the overall market at this point. We were up 2%. We were down 1%. Now we're pretty much back up 1%, but AMAT, guys, moving higher.
Yeah, exactly. And so, yeah, okay. I just want to let you guys know we did take out a little bit of that Boeing, so we only have 1/3 left. It broke through that 130.50, so we actually got filled at 61. Good little trade. I'm dropping this, man, if we break down below 129.75. I know it's not a very long term hold for me, but we will wait to see if that one can move back into the money for us. Luckin Coffee, Arun, we did the same kind of thing there. We reloaded down here 17s, so we're long right now $8.17. But here it comes crashing back down to the downside. There's going to be some pressure on these cruise lines, as we know. It was a horrible day for them yesterday. Now they have the share offering, so watch out here on an 808 or so break. We could be in for a little bit of problems here on Carnival Cruise Lines, but I'm going to hold that until that level, guys. 805 or so on a break, and bang, there it goes again. Run the cash register, guys. We're long CCL right now, $8.16. You know, you load back up down here, just like Arun said, and Arun, we cash in now, buddy. I know your spot, I think, was 825 or so.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens now. I'm still hoping that we can bust above 840. That's my reload position there on CCL, 840.
Yeah, you know what, Sean? You know what? You got a great price at 816. My thing with this is this. I'm willing to hold on to this position just because of how long we took to try to take that 820 out. That tells me there's a lot of activity there. You know what? I'm going to try to make use of all that activity and look for a much bigger trade. If this thing goes down, you know, we're starting at 840, 843. So now this is starting to move. Sean's in the money. I'm in the money. This thing might take off very soon. So that's what we're waiting for. And while we're waiting, Brandon, do you have anything for us?
Name we were looking at yesterday a little bit, guys. Amarin back to the upside. We had the huge move down. If I scroll over this way on the court decision yesterday, back to positive territory. Just broke the pre-market highs there on AMRN, guys.
Okay, I'm going to have to reset because I can't hear Unity ever here today for Brendan. So, Rune, just keep throwing. That's the great job there. Wow, Luckin opens up, guys. Okay, so here's Luckin Coffee. We got I was going to say a bad word there, but we got a lot of volume on the bid here, and we're ripping up here, guys. So Luckin Coffee, we're long at $4.18. So who has this trade? This guy. Here we go, $6.20. We're ripping to the top side here. This is a $2 plus winner on Luckin Coffee. Let's go. Hit the fireworks. Luckin Coffee for the win. We're still going upside here on this one, and CCL trying to go upside as well, breaking through that 840. If we can break through 850, Arun, we're going to be monstrous on CCL. Luckin Coffee is already making my day go right now.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? That trade on Luckin Coffee, we talked about it. You jumped in. I said no. And look who comes out with that money. It's Sean. Sean comes out with that money. He's up huge on it. I'm still looking at that CCL position, trying to figure out, you know what? How much of a profit am I willing to take before, at least partially, before I let this thing come back? Right now, like Sean said, 850 is that trigger price. If we start to hesitate, I will take some out, try to bank 25 cents or so in front of that. At the same time, that RCL, man, that is regret right there because that is up another $1. WBA is going sideways, so I may get this one out very soon. Just scratch the trade and move on to something else. And also in the chat, somebody was asking about CHWY, Chewy. You know, my take on that one there, it's not done a whole lot. It's sideways. If you're trying to momentum trade this or you're trying to trade this on a short-term perspective, it's going to be hard to get or justify a position until we get about 37 or 36.20. Because, you know, right now we're stuck in terms of range-bound activity, about 35.50, 36.20, 70 cents in the middle, and we're dead center. So, you know what? I'm going to stay out of this one. You know what? For anyone that's looking at that, just be aware of what the market environment is for that specific stock.
Yeah, okay. My earpiece died here, so Arun, you're gonna have to take that over. I didn't even realize here that I still had 10 shares of Microsoft. Like, that's strange. So we got out of everything I thought I must have missed on this last punch out. So Microsoft, you're going to still see me in position. I do have 10 shares of that one. So if you do see me there, that is what that is. I'm looking at 150.50 straight in the face here. I may go long again. I did not like this rebound back down. We could bounce off 24.50 here in the futures. That's a good little spot, 24.50 coming through on this future spot. So we'll see if that one can come. Oh yeah, and by the way, Your boy's halted again on Luckin Coffee, so knock on wood. Let's see if we can't get another one. I didn't take anything out, so I'm just hoping that this one can somehow climb a little bit back up. You see these buys down here, and now we're waiting for this to open back up, but we are long Luckin Coffee right now, and that's the big one for me. CCL has dropped back down, so we do have to reevaluate this. Is there a spot we can get back in? I don't know. Unfortunately, guys, I doubled the position up here at 840, so when we drop right back down, you're going to see me still long now, 843, but we've cashed in. It's a very profitable stock for us because we loaded up down here at 815, but right now we're stuck in the middle. I don't like this pattern. Let's see if we can't find out what's going on with CCL, guys. Valeria, guys, keep hitting the chat here, guys. If you can, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Right now, a big shout out to Neil at home doing daddy daycare today. I hope that's going well. I bet you, though, Brendan, that he really hopes or wishes maybe that he was in here. We'll have to see about that. Maybe he can call in on Zoom, but I definitely think Neil missing this trading action. It's been a great day. I know he'd be all over CCL and most likely Luckin, but that's a halted name right now. 820 looks like it wants to break on CCL, guys. Arun, you looking at anything on the futures?
You know what, that BA, man, I call that 3250, 132.50 level as resistance. I just didn't see enough to take that short, but that was a golden short. For anyone who wanted to jump in that was a great short. That thing is now down at 126, off $6 off that move from the open. And new lows for the day right now. So you know what, if you want to try to play a breakdown on the day, I don't see enough to do it just in terms of the way it moved already. I'm not willing to take that short, not yet anyways, but that could have been a great resistance play if you guys were looking at trying to play resistance. An update on my position, WBA, I walked away with about 10 cents in profit. It's not doing what I wanted to do. It tried. There was some resistance. I walked away. I'm not willing to step into that anymore. There's a lot of sell activity. AMD is something that, you know what, let's just go over the chart on AMD, guys. AMD went up to that 44.50 level. You see that overnight or a pre-market resistance, and we hit that perfectly. It got up there, hit some selling, and now look at it. It's up off $1.10. All these stocks are starting to slide to the sell side, especially Zoom, Boeing. All of them are starting to move. Futures as well. I'm going to keep an eye on the futures just because of the activity that we've done so far. So maybe, you know what, I can find some resistance and make a play. I know I'm going to be waiting a little bit. I know Brendan's got some things to talk about. Let's see what Brendan has to say.
Yeah, a little one that was moving around the pre-market here, Arun. IO.NY up 128%, just halted on the way back up. This one forecast much better than expected earnings for their current quarter. So there we go. It just reopened once again at 275. So big volatility halt to the downside, and now we're volatility halted and reopened, moving back higher, guys. Now 140% for IO.
Yep, good to go here. Okay, looks like we have a solution for the software problem. So, okay, CCL, guys, I tried it. What? I thought I got long 06 there. I did not. So, okay, so CCL, I tried to buy some more 06s, must have missed that trade again. So, we'll wait to see that one moving to the top side here. Our Microsoft position, okay, we tried it at 151. We're going to get out if it breaks through 151 or 150.40 here. That could be a problem. But if these futures get going, I do like our chances here on this name, Microsoft. To the top side, but wow, Microsoft really weak today, down 0.83% when the market is flat. We may have to revisit this one. Microsoft looks like it's going to break 150, so not all of our profits, but we are giving some back. We are going to give some back here on Microsoft as it does break. Oh yeah, and Luckin Coffee, now a $3 winner, $3.50 right now on Luckin Coffee. Let's keep going to the upside. Sorry about that Microsoft trade, that just fell down, but Luckin Coffee, we're going to take out half of what we have now. I'm not going to stare this 350 in the face. What's up, Valeria?
Hey guys, welcome to the live trading show. If you're passionate about trading or you want to learn how to trade, you're at the right place in the right time. Please hit the thumbs up and subscribe for our channel. We're live every day, and if you subscribe, you get notifications when we are on air. If you watch us from Facebook, like and share our video. Please be supportive. We are trying for you. And of course, guys, be active on the chat. Ask us questions, leave comments. The only thing, please don't use bad words. That's all for now. Back to traders.
Bad words, not traders. Traders never use bad words.
Not at all.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense, right,
Never.
Arun? We don't swear around here or anything like that. We just try to rake in that money. And right now, with that swish, you see Luckin Coffee once again, guys, halted up here. I'm just going to tweet out this chart here. What a great little play that's been today on Luckin Coffee. Bottom, and then we get out here, so this is out at 460. This is out at 490 again, then 540. Then we just cashed out at 775. So those have been some big trades for us here, and we're going to just tweet this out. Those of you guys that follow us on Twitter, make sure that you watch us. Obviously, hit the like and subscribe, but definitely follow me, Neil, and Brendan all on Twitter. So we are excited for that one as well. My CCL, though, right now, I did get that 06. Let's see if we can't run a little bit more through that. My drop spot is just going to be through $8 here. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but CCL really wishing that this one got its legs under it, to say the least. Who are we throwing to now? Brendan, what's up, Brendan?
APOP, guys, a name that was halted here previously on a volatility halt. They got a new patent in China, moving higher. APOP up 157%. $4 if you go out to the daily chart, a bit of a level here as far as resistance goes. Getting a bit of a pullback here, but Arun, what are you thinking of APOP here?
Well, I couldn't hear you there, Brendan. What was the stock there?
APOP.
APOP?
Yep, on the NASDAQ.
I don't have even. Oh, that's one big run here. Now I'm thinking if we can get below 330, I'll take a look at that chart. I'm appreciative of you pulling that chart out for me, Brendan, because right now 330 is my support. Obviously 420 is the high. I got nothing happening right now, so I'll just leave it be for the moment. I did take a short in Facebook though at 57.88 with the 59 stop. So we'll see how this one goes. This one's about 20 cents out of the money at the moment. Still got that CCL. Like I said, we're going to hold on to that CCL until that fails, or we get through that 850, then we'll figure out what to do with it. At the moment, you know what? APOP getting to that level there, Brendan. So I will actually look at taking a short on that one there. CCL, yeah, it's back to 820, so we'll see how that one goes. Like I said, but Brendan there, 330 on APOP, right, very close to me taking that short. So I'll leave it be, see what happens. Sean, do you have anything new?
No, nothing new, but we are long CCL. Yeah, I mean, I have a few new orders that we went long through CCL. We have that 806, and then we punched long and hammered that 814 level. So right now we're long, 814 here, decent amount of shares. So this thing needs to go. We've been getting them out though here. I don't, like Arun already said, a couple different styles of trading here. I'm holding a lot less than Arun as far as time frame goes. Arun looking for a little bit longer time. I would love this to get to 840, but if it does, I'll probably be out of about half of what we have right now. It's resisting this 820 level. Look, I'm long at 814, and again, depending on the amount of shares you have, if you have 2,000 or 3,000 shares and you're in the money 10 cents, that's $300-400 depending on what you're talking about. So here we go to the upside. I'm in the money 8 pennies now on CCL. I may start to take some of this out. The only two positions I have, and we'll throw up the, I'll throw up the board, but I don't need to do that view here. We'll update it and we'll start it. We'll show it to you guys. Here's our view right now. CCL, yeah, we'll go here. CCL long, $8.13. And you can see a bunch of different screens here, a bunch of different news happening. We're looking at different charts. I have my trading screen here, 4 or 5 different charts here, 3 or 4 different stocks, plus the main one that you're seeing. So LK long, look at that long, guys, $4.18. Proud of that one. We did take a shot. Okay, CCL, let's go, guys. Right back to trading as I see CCL watching my net go higher and higher here. 824, Arun. Were you looking at 840? Are you in CCL or RCL?
I got out of RCL, was in RCL earlier, took out about 60 cents on that one. I'm still in that CCL, Sean. We're writing this one together.
Right.
I've got 825, 780 is a stop. Let this one go. Like I said, we either go through 850 or we go through 780. We'll let this one go. Zoom is another one I pointed out. Zoom, it's moving so quickly. The spreads are huge on Zoom. It is a great stock to trade though. In terms of movement, but man, I gotta wait for these things to calm down and try to get the price that I want because the spreads are so big. So I'm looking at about 119.20 or so. I'll put a bid down when it gets down there, and I'll put about 118 on the stop. For that, for the time being, it's at 120 right now, so it's nowhere near where I want in terms of risk to pay for it. Futures, on the other hand, gone sideways a little bit, surprising, but it has gone sideways. I got 24.85 as the top side resistance on the ES futures. and which corresponds to about 75.30 on the NASDAQ futures. So for right now, we're going to be stuck between, in terms of trades, 75.30 on the upside on the NASDAQs, and I've got 73.65 on the bottom as a support. So anything in between, if we get near one of those levels and set up properly,
right,
I will take that trade. If we don't, I'll just wait and try to trade something else. For the time being, CCL, ride that one out. Zoom is taking off, and Facebook is still, just dancing around doing a whole lot of nothing right now. Sean, anything?
That's Facebook. Okay. For me, I'm still on the same kind of track as you right now. Watching CCL, we will obviously throw to Disney a little bit as well. 96 and change. Man, still at that top side. I'm looking at defending this 94.75. We'll have to watch the futures. If this does crack, though, I do not mind a short here, running through 94.75. Yeah. Do we have Brendan? What's up, Brendan?
All right, guys. APT here, Alpha Pro Tech, big mover yesterday in the afternoon. Another one kind of virus-related name, APT on the NYSE Arc exchange. Still in negative territory, but just broke 16. 16 was a bit of a pivot here in the pre-market. So holding 16 on our way up towards 17 for APT. Wanted to mention as well that Zoom did have some news in the pre-market. ZM was higher. I believe they had another month of just blowout numbers as far as people using their video conferencing software, guys.
Okay, and I did want to talk a little bit. Okay, so I just did some more look here, and I actually prefer the long here to Disney. So if we can get above 9, I hope Disney never goes to $24. 95.50 to the long side. We will take that. I don't have a problem with it. If it does break down below here, 94.75. The reason why is I'm pretty bullish, and there goes CCL, baby. So let's hopefully that can keep going. I am bullish on the market in general, bouncing through this 24.50. I thought maybe we could get through it. That's why I switched to the long on Disney. I'm still not long, but waiting for that long. If this can break back above 24.55 and make a run back to the day's high there, obviously not the day's high, but the intermarket high since we've opened, you could see 24.75 coming into play should escalate our Disney position. But you want to talk about escalation right now. Bang! There it is. A nice little 13 penny winner on CCL. It may not seem like that much, guys, but we are running this thing to the top side. So we punch CCL in the face, and I want this higher and higher. I'm not going to put out any more orders. Well, I probably will until about 8:40 or so. This was the spot where we punched long in the first place. Well, we've been long the whole day. Look at these longs. $8, $8.16. Tried it up here at 8:30. Back down here at 8:06. Then again at 8:15. So I'm punching the long. Reason why? Short squeeze, guys. They've already offered it at $8. They already got that done. They raised $6 billion down here at $8 with 60 million shares. So you're going to see upside now, I believe anyways. The short's going to get squeezed. Look, if you've been short this thing since $20, even since last week, you are laughing because this is a huge low spot. I think if we can get to this 840 level, man, we're going to be huge for me today, and I'm hoping you guys watching the show also, guys, hit that idea. And sometimes we actually have decent ones. My only problem today was look, I'm traded Boeing, CCL, LK, Microsoft, and Spiders. We're all running profits on every single name today, but Microsoft was the one that we gave the goose up just a little bit. Look at this horrible out, breaking down through 150. We basically take out our 10 shares by accident there at that low of the day. So that was our only mistake, but we should have actually held on to it as we're now making our way back up. Wow, look at CCL having a little problem here. I'll probably dump some, even though I said I wouldn't, right here at 8:30, guys. Arun, what are you looking at, bud?
Yeah, you know what? I'm still trying to figure out, just as I try to figure out that I want that Zoom, as it came down to that 119, it takes off on me. I've still got that bid sitting there not being filled. So you know what? I'm kind of just missed the boat on that one there. CCL, still doing a whole lot of nothing, kind of going sideways for me. So I'll stay out of that one, let that one ride itself out. And Facebook is it's creeping up. It's getting close to that 159. I'm going to hope that hopefully we get enough selling to keep this thing down. That's what I saw, but buying may be coming on now, so I may want to step out of this pretty quickly. If we start to hesitate when we get back down below 188, kind of scratch the trade and walk away from this. I'm pulling the order on Zoom. It's gone too far. There's nothing to do there. The airlines, I'm seeing DAL now coming back up here just past that one.
It's Valeria time.
23, 80, 85 area. If we get to 24, I may consider going long on that one. And Microsoft
That's actually really good
just took a new low, and as it's coming back up, we got two options here. You can either try to play the low break, or you can try to play the double bottom and try to look for that break of that 152.60 area and take off.
Come to me.
Hey,
Arun, come to me quickly here. Luck in Coffee, hello. This is a $6 winner right now. So we throw the cash around and look at this bid. They still want this stock. So I'll hold it. We're long at $4.18. You heard that right. $4. This is a halted again. This is a $9 name. We're long at $4 right here. I did want to talk. We're going to throw to Brendan for happening now, but quickly, we are in that Disney long. As you can see, the S&P 500 broke above exactly what I said would happen. 24.55. Knew we'd break that, and I knew I'd want this long. So let's see right now. Disney in the money. Ho-hum, 30 pennies, but we're going to wait on that one. Our CCL, that's another ho-hummer right now. That's a 15 penny winner on a decent amount of shares, but I can take a sip of this coffee that Valeria brought me finally. Thank you to that, Valeria. We can throw to Brendan now. Take it over, bud.
All right, guys, 10 o'clock. Let's have a look at North American markets here. We'll see how things are shaping up after 30 minutes of the day. We have a bit of a mixed board. We were positive, we went negative. Now we're back to about positive territory again. 0.17% here for the S&P 500 in the green, but just barely. The Dow, not so much, still red. 0.19% in negative territory for the Dow. Tech stocks kind of flipping back and forth between positive and negative territory. So basically flat on the session after being very red. After that weekly jobless claims number. I wanted to mention the small caps here positive. Here in Toronto, 0.86% for the TSX. Energy names the big story. Obviously, 10% move in crude oil. That's going to lift all of the energy stocks along with it. A lot of them are starting to come back. I'll show you a couple in a second, but nicely positive here for the TSX, 0.8%. BOVESPA down in Brazil, full percent to the upside today. Some of the energy names in Brazil doing well also. Here we go. Enbridge, 3% to the upside, holding this low. So we opened around 39.5, got all the way up to about 40.5. We're kind of holding this low, but looking like we might want to get back down here to test where we were trading yesterday. Watch those crude futures. If they do start to move lower, we might get a secondary push in crude oil or in some of these energy names as well. Suncor, a little bit weaker, already negative on the session, not yet on the day overall. 21.5 was about where we closed yesterday on Suncor, already kind of working its way back down towards that area. There was one more that I put on here. Neptune, that little Neptune Therapeutics trading on the NASDAQ, doing way more volume down in the US versus here in Toronto. This is Neptune.to, 23%, but way more volume on the NASDAQ. But wanted to mention Neptune still kind of working its way back down. South side as well. Factory orders just out, guys, unchanged versus a 0.2% gain that was expected. So that was a February number, I believe. US factory orders out unchanged versus a 0.2% gain that was expected. Back over to you guys.
Thank you. Great little update there. I did want to check back with CCL, guys. Unfortunately, it dropped a little bit down, and my scalping nature just can't seem to get away from my. We did have to take some out there at 24 as it does break through 25. I hate trading through the quarters, as you guys know. So when it breaks that, I got out, so that's my bad on that one. But guess what happens there? There's a 40-cent win there. Cash dropping on Disney. We get out there at 90. You can see the little tick there. So a nice little move on Disney right now. We go 3 for 3. Let's put the position board on just to give you guys a little reminder. I'll come to camera 2 once again here, Rob. You can see, all right, here we go. CCL, we're long 809. You guys know about that one. That's a 22-cent winner. That's a banger. We just take 30 cents on Disney. We're still waiting for that one. And what's the other one we have? Oh, yeah. Cheers. Luck and Coffee. Thanks for the $6 winner, bud. Arun, what do you got on board?
Yeah, you know what? That Facebook that was I was holding on to, the buyers came in, stepped that one up. I had to get out. That one was a hit. I've still got a position on CCL, like I said earlier. I'm holding this one. We're going either through the top or through the bottom. For this one, we're going to let this one ride out. I've got my eye on WBA as a short right now. We're getting very close. I very close to a fill here. And you know what? I'm going to put the stop.
Here we go. Here we go, CCL.
WBA. There you go. CCL's at 840 now. We're back up near the top. So let's see what happens here. Hopefully this time we go. Otherwise, you know what? If we start to hesitate between 840 and 850, I will have to take some profit. Right. It means there's enough resistance there that I got to respect it. WBA. You know what? That thing, I've got that position now. 4 cents out of the money. I got 40.30 as my stop. So that one's about, about 30, 40 cent risk on that trade. And hopefully I'm looking for new lows off that. The low right now on that is about 39.40, and we're about 90. So we're about 50 cents off the bottom. And I'm looking for that resistance that we just took out underneath 40 to ride that trade down. CCL, starting to hesitate here at 840. I really got to be careful. I'll keep my eye on it very closely. I know I said I was going to really hold on to this trade, but at the same time, I got to be flexible. I'm willing to accept the fact that there is resistance here. I do have to take some profit. The rest of it will be put down at 780 as the bottom, like I said initially, right? So you got to be smart with your trades. You do want to hold on, or in my case, I like to hold on, but I will accept the fact that there is some more selling coming on. So I will respect that. I will take some out as soon as, I'm going to take some out. I'll walk away from some of this. At least half the position is going to have to come out. This thing is showing me way too much resistance. So it's okay. It's okay. I had an intention of what I was going to do.
Yep.
At the same time, I took some profit. Hey, you know what? 6 cents is 6 cents. 6 cents is still 6 cents. So we'll let the rest of it ride out. We'll see how this one plays out. Microsoft at the same time, like I said, 122.50, actually 152.60, sorry. We are trying to either decide what to do with this bottom here that we took out underneath 150.50. Are we gonna go through 152.60? Are we gonna go through 150.60? We're trying to decide. Either move helps. I don't care which direction we go in. CCL is now going back up to 837, 838 now. So we maybe, I took some out. This thing may take the top off now, so we'll see how this goes. But you know what? For now, we're just going to wait this one out. Brendan's got some stuff for us. What do you have, Brendan?
Yeah, I was just noting Kevin was looking at Verizon there in the chat, moving higher today, 2.5%. There was a couple of rating changes on that name after market yesterday. But yeah, nice look here for VZ. Just had a nice break of 54 there after a tight little consolidation, guys. Verizon off to the races as well.
Yeah, I just saw that from Kevin. Sure, I'll have a look at that, Kev. Why not? Verizon right now, yeah, I need something to trade right here. So I just want, everything's cruising right now, man. I mean, CCL, great little look on that one. That's a huge winner for me today, monstrous. Glad me and Arun both have that one. And I do see the note about Luck and Coffee coming down, but still halted. The bid is just $6, so we're going to wait to see. Actually, I'll call it up for those of you that don't have live market access. So you can see here, yeah, wow. I saw someone post that it hit up to $12 or $11. It looks like on our system here, and we have live market data, the only highest tick I see here is 10.57 as the high. But you can see right now the spread opened up $6 on the bid, $9, $8.96 here on the offer. So we're going to see where this opens. Often we do have a trader on the floor. He's not here now. I want to say what's up to Claudio. Obviously we're social distancing. He's trading from home, but he has a theory that 1, 2, 3, 4. The fifth halt is where we could see a reversal of fortune. So we're going to wait to see here if LK does come back down. Look, I'm not heavy into this anymore. You guys can see we got out. This was one of my bigger outs right here at 770. Look, I'm going to take a $4 winner on a stock that's down 80% every time. So we'll wait to see where this one wants to open up. Just checking back in Disney, this breaks through 95.25 will be out. And yes, we will fall down for our first legit loser here if Disney does break down. We are long right now, 95.55. Before we go to Brendan though, I did say we would talk a little bit about Verizon. Yes, nice little 2.4% move up. I know there's a flight to quality now, Kevin. Strong balance sheets and big names coming through. So Verizon, no surprise there. We will check out AT&T. I know the Sprint T-Mobile deal is now done. So we'll see what a lot of these stocks are doing. What's up, Brandon?
IFMK, guys. We've been talking about these food delivery services over the past week and a half or so. IFMK back to the upside again today, about 18%. Nice move. We just held 150 there on that last little dip to the downside. They announced today that they've started to sell 2-ply face masks as well that are available for home delivery in the U.S. Guys, iFresh moving.
2-ply face masks. Okay. Yeah, look, face masks, I mean, the wife and I were discussing getting face masks finally, but they say you're not supposed to wear them unless you're sick. So I don't know, but that's what they're saying right now. Look, great call. I'm gonna hit a home run here. I don't have it, but I'm gonna hit the cowbell for Kevin and for Brendan, whoever was talking here about VZ, because Verizon, nice little bump. I mean, since I started looking at it, was 54. That's 40 cents right there. But ho hum, that's okay, because we still got Disney long right now at 95.50. It's busting through 96. We talked about getting out there. If it does break 20s, it does not. It's not moving as aggressively as I hoped it would. Look at these futures, guys. What a call. I talked about this at 24.50. Breaking through 24.55 would be key. Yes. Now we're up here 24.70. So we'll see if this can break through 24.75. Arun, any key? Is this a key level at all on the ES now? Are you more watching NQs? 24.75 right now. We're still up that 1%. I think if we could break this, yeah, these longs will start to cash in big time.
Yeah, you know what? Like earlier, I had 24.85 as my ES level, which corresponds to 75.30 on my NQs. So we are going strong. It doesn't mean that those levels are going to hold. What that means is that that's an area that I want to keep an eye on for resistance or selling. If there's some selling that comes in here, I will try to play in front of it. At the moment, it looks pretty strong, so I'm not going to step in. But if there's some selling that comes in, let's say we start to get into that, you know, on the NQs, we start to get into the 75.10, 75.15s, and we start to really slow down and come off a little bit. I think at that point, it's worth taking a shot as a resistance play. For the moment, right now, I've got nothing going on the futures. You know, like I said, it's moving sideways. For me, it's moving sideways, even though short term it is going up. In terms of the range and the action, I like 24.85 on the ES. I like 75.30 on the NQs. Right now, we're coming up to those levels. Let's see what happens. Another trade that I did take, 24.02 on DAL. I was keeping an eye on that. So that thing is, you know, it just took out that 24 level. Let's see if we can get about 40 cents on that as the first resistance target. Again, when I say first resistance targets, I'm not saying I'm going to get out as soon as we get there. I want to see what happens when we get there. If we start to slow down, then I will get some profits out. WBA is going sideways. I've had that position for a while now. That's about, you know, about 20 minutes. Actually, not even 20 minutes, about 10 minutes actually. Felt like forever. But yeah, it's gone sideways, not doing a whole lot, which is a little concerning for me, because that kind of move should have started a downward move, a faster downward move. It hasn't done anything. Microsoft, on the other hand, took out that 152.60. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put a bid down on Microsoft and see if I can grab those 70. I'll pay up 75. You know what? They're willing to give me 66s here. I'll take that. I'll take 65. 152.65 is my entry. I've got the low of 151.70, which was the low just before we took out the top. So I'm not looking all the way at the bottom. 150.40 is the bottom. That's way too much risk for me. So I'm going to take a short-term trade. Again, you've got to shift between long and short. This is one of my short-term trades. I'm trading like Sean right now. I'm going to step in, take that trade. As soon as it goes in the money, I'm going to take a profit if we can get in about 153.50. At the same time, I'm looking at WFC. That kind of came up on my radar here. And that's very close to a breakout as well. I'm looking at 126.82, very close right now. If this thing starts to go and get above and hold some strength, I will take a long above 82, put the stop down at about 56, 57, and see if we can get a play. Right now, Microsoft is, 20 cents in the money, 20, 30 cents in the money, 30, 35 cents, 36, 40 cents.
Attaboy.
There you go, 45
Keep
cents.
Counting them,
50 cents in the money. And this is happening in real time, guys. You saw me get in. 152.65 is what I got in, and this thing is starting to move. My first target, like I said, 153.50. It's a $1 target for my first exit, and I want to see what happens. There's a lot happening between 53.50 and 54.50, so I would definitely be looking to take some profit when we get near there. DAL, that 24.02 entry is now 10 cents in the money. WBA, I've still got that. That one's sitting around doing nothing, so you can't even count that one. That one's 7 cents out of the money. So there's a lot happening. Yes, futures are getting near that 75.30 level. If we take it, what do I do? Well, you know what? If we're going really strong, I'm going to want to take a long and maybe put a stop down at about 7,500, see how we play out. We are starting to see some selling. I'm expecting that. So how do we play this here? It depends entirely on how we move through these levels. Let's let it go. I know Brendan's got some stuff for us. I know Sean's got some positions. Everyone's working this market right now, trying to figure out what kind of trades we have, what kind of trades we can potentially have. I got CVS on my radar. We've got Microsoft going up. We can let that one go. Let it do its thing. DAL, let it do its thing. WBA, let it do its thing. Now it's just a matter of once you've got a position, what do you do? Well, you've got to figure out how you're going to play this. And the other thing I just realized, you know what? WFC has crossed.
Look at this guy.
The area. So you know what? I'm taking WFC as well. There you go. What's my entry on WFC? I've got 81s on the entry. Like I said, 56 is the first stop on WFC. A lot of trades, they're kind of taking a breather as the markets hit resistance. Am I scared of going long as we come up into resistance? No. I trade each one individually. That may not be the right way to play for some people, but this is how I'm going to play it. If the market breaks on the futures as well, I'll jump into that as well. So I got three longs, one short. Let it go. See how it plays out.
Arun.
Yes.
Arun, I found something we have in common.
What's that?
We both like to talk forever, apparently. So good analysis there. That's a great job there, Arun. Normally a futures guy just crushing stocks there. So I want to say thank you to Arun for stepping up for Neil here. And that was absolutely fantastic. And I got to throw credit once again to Arun. So we hit the cash register. Look at this CCL. Arun, basically you're the one that sort of motivated me to hold some of this. And we get out upside at $8.50. So we're very light on that one. Big time winner there. Oh yeah, and check out Disney right now. This is a 70-cent winner, so we hit the cowbell once again. We're still going up. Let's go, man. We're long 95.55 on Disney right now, so that's a good little trade. Having a little problem up top side, so we'll probably get out of some of this one. I'm going to throw over to Brendan. We're going to work some of these positions. Let's see what was upgraded and downgraded and see if we can't find some more opportunities. Brendan.
All right, guys, yeah, a little bit of a look here at what's moving around as far as things that were upgraded and downgraded today. Some interesting ones here to have a look at. Bristol Myers here, big move yesterday, kind of flat on the day, even with an upgrade. Zoom down here, big high flyer recently to the downside, even with an upgrade, 12% in negative territory for Zoom. Unilever, the other one. Kronos, Lyft, Lennar, and Wayfair, all kind of mixed so far. Look at Kronos, up 5%, even with a downgrade today. So let's have a look at a couple of charts here. Disney, the first one I wanted to mention, filled this gap in the pre-market, and now we're kind of working our way back up towards 96. We get above that 97, 97 and a half. These highs up here from the pre-market on Disney. One to keep in mind if the market does start to move higher. Lyft, the other one here, 2% to the downside on a downgrade. Huge volume behind this move. Worth noting, guys, relative volume a little bit elevated today on Lyft. Back over to you guys.
Looking at Uber here, and I really like Uber, but for now it's not moving too much as I just tweet out this Disney play here, hoping that this thing can get going. I'm not sure if it's going to, but I just tried to get out a little bit above there when we were ringing that register on Disney up at $96. Unfortunately, we did not get filled there as it breaks back down below. So we'll wait to see if we could get some of that out right now. I am back on Unity now, guys. So if you want to hit me up on that, that should be okay. I did want to check in on Luckin. Yeah, I mean, I should just put a market on open order in for this. You can trade that off of a halt, different gateways. BATS has a good one. Obviously, this is traded on NASDAQ, so you can use a NASDAQ open order as well to get the open price here. It doesn't look like we're going to get anywhere back to 10, but Luckin Coffee right now still down that 69%, and we're still long, guys, at $4.18, but we're pretty light now. The majority of our shares were out right here. We held some to see if we could moon this thing back into the teens, but for now that doesn't look like that is on board. And again, a great little cash out there as CCL timbering right back down. Look where we were able to get out. We put our scalping hat back on and get some out right now, and now we are super light on this stock, so we'll wait to see as that one comes through as well. Yeah, things moving around. It's been a very, very exciting day. Needless to say, again, thank you to Arun. Shout out to Neil as well, and Brendan. We do have Lawrence Rose coming from Omega Securities, so that's a gateway on the TSX, and we could check out a TSX name right now. I know, Brendan, you talked about Kronos. Let's check out my favorite. That would be Canopy right here. Not favored because of their products or anything like that. Favored because they're the best of breed, in my opinion. Largest market cap, and they're in everything. This is Canopy. Used to be, it is CGC there if you're trading in New York. Up a nice little 4% right now is Weed, and that's Canopy. Okay, here we go. Nice CCL right back to the top side. I have to do a little more research and find out, guys, if we can't find a bottom here to pick up CCL if it does drop again. Brendan, what you got, bud?
A little tiny penny stock moving, guys. CHFS. This is a medical equipment maker, so obviously making the gowns for medical workers and some of the face masks as well. Just seeing some big time volume coming into this name. Only 50 cents, but just broke the top there on a huge volume spike, up 20% today for CHFS, guys.
Okay, that's fantastic. I just got to set up. I don't know if one of you guys have a. I'll get this after a while. My Bluetooth is not working. Okay, CCL all the way up here to 840. Looks like it wants to keep running up. We don't have anything else on board here. I know, Arun, you were looking at Microsoft. If there's any names, guys, I know Kevin brought us Verizon. I will have to look back at that. I did want to check out Apple because this is the strange one for me. Apple today down or flat, doesn't matter, at 0%. If we take out this 241.20, guys, I think we could be off to the races. So let's see if that one can come through. 241.20 here on Apple on a nice little move to the top side. Looks like we're about to break that right now, Arun. 241.20. Let's go.
Yeah, you know what? Another thing I'm keeping an eye on is MGM. MGM is hitting that 1180, and it's kind of going sideways after taking out some resistance here. So I'm considering the possibility of going long. I'm still waiting for some more information here in terms of how much buying, how much selling is there. So I'm keeping an eye on the tape. Let's see which side the buyers or sellers are at. It's a tight risk too. If you want to take 80, you can put 70 as a stop to risk 10 cents. I'm now willing to step in, even though the risk is small. I don't have enough information on this one just yet to take a shot at it. This might go. At the same time, I'm keeping an eye on the other positions I've got. WFC is actually starting to move now, finally. It's been taking forever. Microsoft, yes, it has come back a little bit. It's also starting to consolidate. So there's some activity there that's kind of stepped in. We're all waiting for a lot of information to come through, right? Like you said, Sean, there, Apple, SLB, there's a lot of movers here. SLB, OXY, Oxy, we talked about the oil companies earlier. They've opened up. Since we've opened up and the initial move in the first, say, half hour, we've done a whole lot. We haven't a whole lot. Not even half hour, it's like 15 minutes. Since the opening 15 minutes, we have not done a whole lot, at least on Oxy. So I'm going through these stocks. Yes, we had Zoom as a stock, and Zoom is starting to take off. So anyone who was actually able to get that entry, the one that I talked about was down at 119. I never got it because the spread and all that other stuff. So I was kind of thinking about too many things going on. It's at 126 now. So I know Kevin said he paid up and he made it. Good job, Kevin, for stepping in there, paying up. I was not willing to. That's why you're the one making the money. And we're waiting for stocks. You know, as we're waiting for stocks, we're going to go to Brendan, see what he's got for us.
Small cap recap time, but I did want to check in right now. I just talked about Apple. That was easy. We went long 24, 241.20 and got it out at 241.62 right there. So nice little out there. Disney back to the top side. We did get that 96 out right there, 96 O's. So that's a great trade there. So we mac and cheesy Disney right there a little bit. And guys, Luck and Coffee there. Womp womp. We get that out, $6.99. Sorry about that, guys. But once again, just another $3.50 winner there on Luck and Coffee. But we are ready now to throw it over to Brendan for small cap recap. Let's go.
Hey guys, yeah, let's go to small cap world. Couple of interesting ones. They're interesting movers this morning anyways. We mentioned this one right off the bat. Neptune Therapeutics, they announced a plant-based hand sanitizer that they have been approved to sell from Health Canada. So a Canadian company. You can trade it down on the NASDAQ, obviously. Still up about 18 and change here as far as percent goes. The best trade, I think, if you go to a daily chart, was early on in the pre-market. Got all the way up here to 175, 180 to put a short on. Kind of trending to the downside on the daily time frame. But if you missed that one, there was a tight little consolidation here just before the open that did break. This is 150. Top end of this kind of consolidation was 150. Did break right at the open. Nice flush. We're down at 110 right now. Still kind of grinding to the downside, but volume is drying out a little bit on NEPT. But decent opportunity on the short side if you caught that one. The other one, BMRA today, 14%. Still in positive territory. Another one that's kind of grinding to the downside after a big pop in the pre-market. This is $9. Put the line up here at $9. I missed this one completely. I was kind of hoping we'd get a bit of a retest of this -9 area at the open. Didn't happen, just flushed all the way down to 780. Looks like it might break, give you another opportunity now. Worth noting, yesterday this thing was trading below 7, so I mean we're at $8 now, so possibly $1 to go still for that BMRA, guys. That's a look at a couple of small caps. Back over to you.
Small cap names, that's for sure. And that was that BMRA. We did talk about that a little bit in the pre-market. What's up, guys? Love all these camera views right now as well. So I see you, Kevin, there talking about Zoom. And yeah, I'm way late to this party here. 123 was a fantastic break. I know we talked about that on the show here. So yeah, missed it, but I still like it here. We're going to see if we can't take out some more tops here. And that's what I just played. Breaking through 126 here. So we are long now. My average price, 125.99. On a little double up right now. We'll see if we don't break down to the downside. Not overly worried about it. My position here, if we break down through 125, we'll get out. It's not a huge one. I feel like we've missed this opportunity. This is the best one. I hope, Kevin, you're long around 122, 123 and change. That was a great little spot there for Zoom as we go. So that's a good spot. I'm not in at a great spot, so I'm not going to hold this for too long. If it does break through 125, I will be out of that one. So that's Zoom. Just to check back in Apple, 241.20, we're still long. That did go almost to 242 there. Try to take out that high of the day. Look, if Apple fades back down, if the market fades back down off of this 24.80, then yeah, Apple probably be in trouble. So look for this break here, 24.70 to short Apple. Apple's relatively weak in this market. The market's up 1.27%, and check out Apple right here, only up 0.2. So I do like it if it gets jets going to it. Maybe we can find out about Apple being on the downside there. I don't think it was downgraded or anything, but again, it tends to follow the market. So I think we got Apple at a decent spot on this breakout right now, but who knows? For right now, we'll put out an evil laugh because we're 30 pennies in the money right now on Softy. We're 15 pennies in the money on this CCL. We're hoping for more on that one. Disney, I'm still hoping. This is Luck and Coffee, my bad. Disney, we're still long on this one at 95.50, and we are ready for Brendan. So what's up, Brendan?
Throw this up here, guys. There's a little piece of news here. Apple allowing card users, so they came out with the Apple Pay and Apple Credit Card a couple months back now, but they're allowing card users to skip April payments without interest. So a little bit of news on Apple, Sean.
Okay, so that sounds, I know, is that good news or bad news? I don't know. I guess it's not really affecting Apple too much. There's so much money in a lot of these stocks, guys. You do have to just be careful with all that because you never know when these stocks could get flushed out. And I mean, we're looking at this market here, and it's been kind of calm today. So not sure what to expect moving topside. But what I am expecting here, and there's a lot of dark prints, right? And these are all these Ds. I know they're hard to see, but this is a live level 2 look now. So you can see Zoom. And this is the thing. Some traders say, oh, I just took 5,000 shares long of Zoom. No, you didn't. A lot of these prints coming through here are hundreds of shares. You're not going to get 5,000 shares at one specific price, which is why you do see a lot of D prints going down. So if you are looking for bigger volume block prints, they're probably going to have to come off in the dark pool. So that's why we do look for a lot of these dark pools, because each one of these, this is just a little bit of an education spot here. Each one of these numbers here, this is the size that's being offered or to buy or to sell. So the sells on this side, the bids are on that side. Each one of these numbers is representing 100 shares. So when I say that I'm long 100 shares, it's just one of these things, right? And so here we go. Zoom's going to come crashing back down through 125, and it looks like, unfortunately, Sean will be falling in a hole here at Zoom. Will it break? Will it break? And there it goes. It breaks, and there's a loser for me right there on Zoom. We tried for you guys. I was not in on a good spot there. I thought if the futures wanted to go, Zoom could possibly go down 9%. Not expecting that kind of a move today from Zoom, guys. Ready, Brandon. What's up, Brandon?
Name we were looking at yesterday, guys. Safety Group down 27% here. We had a huge move to the upside yesterday. This thing got all the way up to 420, 425 at the top yesterday. Big sell-off into the close. We're lower today. They announced big share offering down around 160, I believe it was. But Safety Group back to the downside today, guys.
Safety Group. Okay, I'm trying to up the volume on this thing so our production team doesn't have to yell at us when it's Brendan's time. But okay, Zoom still falling down. Good little trade there. I mean, we're out of that one now. Everything's falling right now, Arun. Are you short anything? I've been majority long, and I'm still stuck long.
No, you know what's funny is that the one short that I did have, WBA, I actually got out of it. I scratched that trade. That wasn't going anywhere, and it wasn't moving with the market. This is what I get for going long, especially those stocks that are index heavy, specifically Microsoft. You know, we talked about that when we said it's getting near that, the NQ futures are getting near their resistance level that I had marked off. What did I do? I decided to go long. What am I sitting on now? Well, I'm sitting on a loser, and we're just above that support area now. Are we gonna get that breakout? I don't know, but you know what? I'm gonna be very quick to get that out if we get through that 51.75. Right now we're at 51.78, 77. We'll see how that plays out when we get through that 75. But right now, yes, the market is starting to move down. I'm looking at shorts potentially below 74.80 on the futures, on the NASDAQ futures there. If we get below there, I'm willing to take a shot on the short side with a stop of 75.30. That's been my level since the beginning. So if we get through that 74.80, I'm willing to take that short. And hopefully we get a ride down, maybe 60, 70 points down. If we break that top off, though, that's great too, because then I can take a long and look for a move potentially about 50 points up before we get that first resistance level. Microsoft is bouncing off that area that I had identified at 52.75 or 51.75, sorry.
Yep.
So now we're bouncing off. So you know what? Maybe that level that I had played out is strong enough to absorb this market selling. I did get forced out of that DAL position. It was a small hit, but that's okay. I'm out of that one. Microsoft is still holding on. So, and the futures are starting to move back. They're at 75.20 now, so we're about 10
Oil
points.
number.
We're about 10 points from taking the top off. We get that top.
Look what oil
Here's the
just
thing with Microsoft,
ran.
we all have to understand, right? Microsoft is one of those big indexes. They're weighted heavy in the NASDAQ index. So if that index is moving, that means Apple and Microsoft are definitely moving with it at the same time. So if I can get that index to go, which is the NASDAQ futures, you're gonna see Microsoft take off as well. Then we can get that $1.50 that we're hoping for. If we don't, I might be in a little trouble with this one. I may have jumped the gun there. But you know what? Hey, Sean, do you have anything for us while I'm waiting for this?
I don't know if our production guys are going stir crazy over there. I'm not even sure what's going on. If you hear some crazy monkey-like sounds, I don't know what those were. But we're having fun here today. Thanks for that analysis, Arun. Great stuff. I do see what you're talking about. I'm not sure who it was. Was it George there on the chat? Talked about Disney being at the 200 MA. Unfortunately, look, I got pumped out of that one. Wow, look at the futures still going up. Disney breaks 95.20. That's that level that we talked about, so I am out of it. Still a very profitable trade though. But look at Apple, guys. Apple busting out. This is what we talk about. So we hit the floss action. There you go, Apple upside. I gave this trade to you guys. I hope you have it. This is now $1.25 in the money and still going. So this looks like it's a good one. We'll hold on to our Apple. We did get out of that just a little bit there. Well, we didn't get out. We got out right here for 60 cents, but now we're holding for even bigger. So the dancing gorilla, maybe this fits their theme back there, but here we go, $1.40 now in the money. We actually take Uber to the long side as well, breaking through 24.90. So Uber long now. Let's go. Let's take a ride on Uber and see if we can't make our money back. Well, not make our money back. We're making a lot of money today, but we'll see if Uber can't keep going. 24.93 is our spot right now. $2 winner on Apple. Let's go, guys. Arun, what I want to bring up too was if we could break through this 25 on Uber, so I'm just taking some out a little bit there. There we go. Thank you, Uber. And boom, goes right through 25 there. So we turn bullish on this market. Let's see if we can't keep going to the top side on this name. And yes, Apple. 241.21. There it is. You're waiting for that $2 winner. We gave you 7 on Luckin, but here's 2 clean on Apple. Nice little $2 winner there. Bringing this market back to life, baby. Wow. Zoom not moving, but everything else is. So hopefully this can get above $25 once again. Uber gets to 25.11 and then backs off back to 24.90 and change. Arun, were you able to take anything long during that little mess there?
No, you know, it's moving too quickly for me. So you know what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to throw some bids down here on Apple specifically. Apple, I'm going to put a bid down about 242.50 and try to put a stop around 141 even as the bottom. I will get that in right now. There's a lot of trades that I want to get into. Apple is one of them. The other one I was keeping an eye on, WBA, the one I had short, I had gotten out of. Now that's starting to look like maybe, you know what, that's worth a long. So I'm going to step into WBA on the opposite side of which I was carrying. I got out just in time as I scratched that trade earlier. At the same time, I do want to keep an eye on the futures as well. The new stop for me on the futures is 75.11 or 75.10, sorry. I'm going to put a bid down around 75.35. is where I'm looking at. Again, I'm not going to chase these markets because there's a lot of activity above where we're trading right now. So I am looking for that pullback. Apple, I've got that filled. That one's up 20 cents, 40 cents, sorry. No, that's Microsoft. Apple's up 20 cents. Microsoft's in the money now, 40 cents. We're waiting for a lot of fills. WBA is going to come back down. I'm going to wait for that one as well. At the same time, WFC, man, that one took off on me. I had that one for a while. I gave up on it as the market looked like it was going to respect that resistance. It's gone. So we're going to be scrambling to find some new trades as the market sentiment has shifted. It seems like as these support resistance levels that we have been identified, or that we had identified earlier, have now broken and now are providing opposite trades, or the breakout trades. For me, I'm going to look for that 75.35, like I said, on the futures. We'll look for that Apple breakout. We're looking for that Microsoft to take off. A lot of plays happening right now with this market just taking off now. That means a lot, guys. That says a lot about what could potentially happen for the rest of the day. So, you know what? At the moment right now, it's a matter of waiting. So, hey, Brendan, do you have anything for us?
Yeah, a little news story just hitting the wires here, guys. Trump coming out saying, looks like CNBC posted this actually. Trump saying he spoke to President Putin yesterday and the Saudi Crown Prince today and have made positive movements, I guess, when it comes to the price fixing, delays in crude oil markets. So that could have been the reason for that little spike in crude, guys.
Yeah, could have been. I would say that probably was. So we're going to get ready for XOM. Wow. We had Kevin O'Leary on the show yesterday, and I asked him specifically, how ironic actually, about the oil market, and he was telling us XOM may be the one to buy. So up 7% today. We're going to take the long if it breaks through this high. We're going to give it another go here. Let's see. Unfortunately, though, our Uber trade, a little disappointed in that one. We've had to cover this, man. It came screaming back to the downside. This is not a very strong name, but we've been able to lick our wounds a little bit from there. So Uber right now, we still are long 24.93. It's only 10 cents out. Nothing to worry, but I do want to execute that long again. But look what is still going. Our Apple position is now $2 plus in the money. We're long 241.21. You can check my positions at the bottom. It's going to say Arun, but it's really your boy down here. Look at Zoom. We still have some of this one at 125.79. So this is heading back to the upside. We get out of a little bit down here at 124. Now we have Zoom coming to this 128 level. That's where it stopped last time. We'll see if we can't put an order out up here to get out of that one. XOM, we just take long and boom goes the dynamite. Cash out on that one as well. XOM, we're long at $40.50. You want 25 cents? How about 30 cents? How about 35 cents, Arun? Nice little win on this one as the oil markets are rocking and rolling. And yeah, we're long this one, XOM, at $40.50. Come on, 41. What you got, baby? Here, bye-bye, 41. So a nice little 50-cent winner once again on XOM. We are doing this. We are doing it big time for you today. XOM long, that's $1.50 in the money. Zoom is $2 in the money. Apple's $3 in the money. CCL is 20 cents in the money. Uber, 1 cent in the money. I'm tired, Brendan. What's up?
Camber Energy, another one moving on that news at this point, guys. Big volume spike as we broke through the high here above 150, back to 140 now. But CEI, another one to look at if you like the little ones, 34% as crude oil futures moving higher, guys.
And bang it out right there. A nice little win on Zoom, 127.75. Hell yeah, another $3 winner right there. Okay, one trade that we actually, we have on a decent amount of size here is Apple. Your boy has got this one, guys. We've given you all of these. Look, I'm perma bull pretty much, so when the market rips up, hells to the yeah. Look at this price right now. Apple, we talked about it not leading the market today. This market goes up. Apple says, I got to play catch up. So we are long right now, 241.21, guys. You know what? Let's throw up our position board here. I have a few of them, so we've been talking about that. Let's go to camera 2 again here, guys, if we can. Okay, here's Apple right now. We are long Apple, 241.21. $3 in the money. There's our CCL, guys, booming that trade. That's 23 cents in the money. Our XOM, we just gave that to you. That's 80 cents in the money. Bang that one out. And Uber, 5 cents in the money. We'll cry that one out. But hey, look, in the money is in the money, right, Arun? Let's go.
Absolutely. You know what? Like I said, as you were already in this position there, Sean, but I had actually gotten into the Apple position on screen, right? 240, 252. So even if you had not taken the initial position, there was a secondary entry available for you. So that's when I've got, that one's up about 90 cents right now. 90 cents, and it's still going. We still have that Microsoft trade going. So you know what, at the moment, as the market's going, what we're looking to do is maybe look for areas of potential profit taking. So right now, we're gonna wait, go to Brendan here, as I'm waiting to figure out what I'm gonna do with these trades that are in the money and whether I'm gonna step into some new positions as well. Brendan?
All right, guys, we'll jump into the S&P 500 here, see what is leading this market higher. And yes, in fact, no surprise coming here. It is the energy group. Very, very positive along with crude oil prices here. Overall, worth mentioning here, 2.4% for the S&P 500, but it's all the energy names providing strength. We have industrial stocks higher, banks are higher. In fact, the entire financial group has been putting in a decent performance so far today. I want to talk about these first, though. Pretty much right across the board, huge moves. Devon, Apache, HP, and EOG, all more than 23% on the day to the upside. There's CXO, 21%. There's Oxy, about 19%. Even Halliburton getting a nice bump today, 18% to the upside. Really no laggers. I mean, COG, just 5%. KMI, Kinder Morgan there, about 10% to the upside. But you want to look at Devon, EOG, and Apache as the three leaders on the day in the energy group. Yeah, banks doing quite nicely today as well. Morgan Stanley here, 6.7%, leading the entire diversified group to the upside. AMP, IVZ, and BLK up about 6% as well. Individual banks as well, CME, KeyBank, and CFG, all nicely in positive territory. Sean, your BAC also up about 6% on the day, having a good day for the financial sector. If you're looking for anything offsetting this entire move to the upside, got to go to the consumer staples, kind of hanging off the board there, but consumer staples sector is showing a little bit of relative weakness. STZ there down 6% on the session. A few other little ones in the consumer staples group, in the food group as well. We were talking about ConAgra earlier in the week, also in negative territory today. Some of the healthcare group also offsetting this move to the upside. CVS in particular there, 3% negative territory, and also MCK worth mentioning, 3% in negative territory. Otherwise, though, really nice to see. Nice positive day here, 2.4%, guys, for the S&P 500. Back over to you.
Yeah, you can say that again, a nice positive day, because unfortunately we did get out of our Apple at break. I mean, I do this all the time. You know, that was a $3 winner. We make it we turn it into a $2 winner. We get out at 242 break, 243 break, which is right now. So we got out of that one and we wash our hands clean and we say thank you so much and confetti for that one as we hit that. We're trying to get some little. If you guys have any ideas about any kind of cool graphics, we could do. Our graphics team is first class, and we'll get those done for you guys as well, especially this one. No car crashes today, but bang, that's what happens sometimes when you make some bad calls, but not today for sure. XOM, guys, what a fantastic trade this was. This could have easily been our trade of the day as well. Getting this one, obviously down to 38 would have been sweet, but you get that breaking news, and then look, this doesn't mean that you need to take a stock right away. You just wait until it breaks key levels. That's the way I play it, guys. Long at 40.50 and bang it all the way up to 41.60. That's a $1 winner right there. We take some out on the way up, and now we're holding a small 20% of this XOM position. We are still in. My Uber, boo you. That tried to get going again back above 25. Unfortunately, was trading too many other things. Didn't get out at 25 even. It looks like this is the breaking point for me though. 24.75 on Uber. I am going to try to go long again on this name. Not really sure I love it. Check back on CCL, and we're still high side on CCL. Still waiting for that 850 to break. It may not. It may just settle down. Brennan, what you got for us?
Another one in the energy sector here, guys. We'll come to the TSX. Canadian Natural moving higher once again today. This thing's on like a 2 or 3 day run already, but 20% again today. Just went from 19 all the way to 22.50 on monster volume here for CNQ, guys.
CNQ, Canadian Natural Resources. Okay, that one's on the run again. Okay, I'm trying to find other names to look at here, guys. Let's check back in on Kevin's Verizon here. Yeah, well, I mean, no doubt about that one. That one's a huge runner off that move there. 54.67. When we checked in on it, it was up about 2.5%. So we go up to 330 there. Let me know if you guys are still in this name as well. Zoom, we did get out of that one. What a trade that was. Unfortunately, we got ticked out of 2/3 of our position down here on a 125 break. But look at Zoom now. We get the rest out at 128. Good to check back on that. My baby continues to be Microsoft. Wow, what a great long. I mean, check this long, guys, here in the morning. 153 on that break all the way to 154. Now kind of trying to settle down. Look at this top. This is very interesting. These are the things that we look at, guys, as we go here on the show. This is where Microsoft stopped. So we'll draw a little ellipse right here. As you can see, this is the area of resistance, 154 up to 154.50 about. And look what happened again. The same type of thing here. That's a little too high. But 154, the stop is 154.60. Basically, beside these wicks, it's the exact same move. And look at this, guys. We are breaking now down through VWAP. So let me look at some more charts. But in the meantime, let's throw it back over to Brendan.
It's all about energy stocks, guys. Have a look at Marathon. Didn't mention this one during that sector watch there, but MRO, almost 20% as well. Broke this pre-market high just recently, 350, again on monster volume. All of these charts looking very similar, following crude to the upside, guys.
All right. Yeah. So right now, guys, I mean, I'm just trading away, looking to see what happens with some of these names. CCL still going to the backside there. So that's a name definitely to look at. Let's check in on our favorite Netflix and chill option here. We did watch, the wife and I yesterday watched season 3, episode 2 of Ozark. A great show there. And of course, we need a graphic for Tiger King. Maybe we can get that going soon as well, because that would be awesome if we had that. Tiger King on Netflix. Great show. Ozark, an amazing show as well if you guys get an opportunity. So on that talk, let's go to Netflix. Netflix right now, 367.50, up that 1%. This is just a 1-minute chart. If we break this down, it's traveled a lot today, man. Down to 360, up to 370. So that's a nice little $10 move. It did the same move on the open. Back and forth. This almost looks like a nice little W shape. We'll see if it can't find a bottom right now. It's too choppy where it is right here. But if it does break out, you know what? The more I look at this chart, I kind of just want to talk about Ozark and Tiger King there, but Netflix right now, if it does break this bottom of 366.50, which we're close, that could give you a trade back to VWAP down here. This is just a 1-minute volume weighted average price. So that's what we mean by VWAP right there. 366.50 possibly coming into play. Arun, I apologize. I don't really know your positions or anything. Are you into anything on the futures side of it right now?
No, you know what? I'm not on the futures just yet. I am looking for it to come down so I can actually get a good risk on this trade. I do like the long, but we are hitting some resistance on the ESs around 25.20. We're at about 25.10 right now, or 25.07. So I'm going to sit this one out up here in this area. I don't want to touch a long. Potential shorts maybe, depending on the action. But for the moment, there's no trade up here. But if we can get down a little bit, I would like to play off the support of the break that we had initially that kind of propelled this entire market to go up. Obviously it was based on news, but at the same time, it did break some key levels, right? So with that in mind, I was carrying at the time, we were carrying Apple. I know Sean was already in Apple. I got into Apple just then, and Microsoft. Now, Microsoft has, for me at least, it's done its thing. I've cashed out. I've walked away from it. My last exit was 153.68. We're down about 20 cents below there. I've still got some of Apple left. That one for me, like I said, guys, some trades I'm willing to hold longer than other trades. That is one of those trades I would like to set up. I did cash some out. I did make my dollar on half of my position. The other little bit, I will let this one play out, because I do think there's a potential for this thing to take off if we can actually start to go. At the same time, though, it doesn't mean I'm not willing to go short, because I did jump into a short as well. PBR, one of the oil stocks. I did short it. Now that one's about 7 cents in the money. Keep in mind, 7 cents on a $6.30 stock is a decent profit, 10 cents now. So this thing starts to slide. It seems like, you know what, that entire move based on news, it seems like we've run its course and now we're starting to come back a little bit. Now, especially the oil stocks that move that quickly are more susceptible to actually coming down faster, right? That's my read here, is that Apple will hold its levels while the oil stocks who have outran will start to come off. So yes, there's a long, yes, there's a short, but we can go both ways in this market, especially as the futures are starting to come off. I will consider some longs here. Again, when I say consider, it's entirely based on activity. I'm not committing to any trades. Entirely based on activity as we come down to that 75.35, 75.30 area, see what happens. If we can catch some bids, yes, I'm willing to take a shot at it. If we don't, we come off, you know what, all the way down. I got 74.80 as my support level on the futures at the moment. If we can find a trade in front of it, I'm willing to step in. If we can't, it is what it is. We'll just ride out the PBR, which is now 13 cents in the money. Apple is 30 cents out of the money. We'll go both ways on this trade, see what happens. Sean,
Yep.
anything new for you?
Yeah, good job, man. We'll explode this money here a little bit. XOM, yeah, we can keep talking about it. And now I decided to finally maybe get out of the last little bit that we have here. It bounced off just one too many times. And by one too many times, let's blow this chart up. What I mean is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times here. It could not break this 41.25. So we're going to sit up here somewhere. We're still got this beauty of a long rate here at 40.50. We'll see if it can't make a new little level break here of 41.20. That's what I'm looking at on XOM. Other than that, man, I've got a little minor Apple short on right here. We're waiting to see if it breaks through 243. If it does that, then I'm going to be loading up on the short side and turn a little bearish as this market seems to have pulled back just a little bit. We're battling right now. And just to give you an idea, 2,500. I know Arun's late waiting for something more down here to go long, but we did just crack through 2,500. Let's see if it takes it back out. That should accelerate some of these longs, but right now Apple is slightly in the money. Our CCL is pretty good, and there goes our Uber. We just took some more shares now. I don't know if this is going to be right or not, but we've taken Uber long through 24.90. Let's see if we can't get back to 25. Brendan, what you got, bud?
Guys, just watching Frontline here, FRO in New York down 20%. Now just got crushed from 9.50 all the way down to $7. Was halted there, resumed on monster volume. So working its way back above $8, but FRO moving around, guys.
FRO. Okay, we'll have a Come on, Uber. I definitely don't like Uber, so I'm going to flush myself down the toilet here. It's fine. I'm not going to get out of this thing, but damn it, it breaks through 24.90 there. We get 92s, and what a surprise there. I thought Uber wanted to get going up to that side. And look, this is kind of what we are trading off of here. It could still go. I mean, I'm not too sad-faced about this yet, but now I am, because now it's breaking down through 80. This is that little V-shaped recovery I was sort of hoping for there. We take this out. I was really excited about that. Uber, you want to talk about a stock that's trailing today. Here's Uber, guys, down 2% when the market, you can see, is clearly up the 2%. So look at this. Swoosh all the way down, makes that little recovery back up. I was thinking we could revisit 25. Looks like we'll be stuck here. My ultimate out is going to have to be down here, though, 24.72. So a little bit sad about that one. So we will hail our Uber rider and our driver, hopefully, and see. Hopefully he has enough masks in that car, because I feel sick right now trading this Uber stock, but we'll see what's going on. On the downside, though, hello. I told you we turned a little bit bearish, so we hit the siren right now as we are short Apple right now, 38 cents in the money on this one. Our Apple short, 242.16. Did I hear we were ready for Brendan? Yes or no? Maybe not. Smash the like button, though, guys. Hit us up. If you're watching us on Facebook or any of the other platforms we're streaming on, switch over to YouTube, guys. You can see right now we do have a much more active chat and a little bit of a more aggressive community here on our YouTube page. So definitely hit that like, hit the subscribe. Dax, where's Neil? Daddy daycare called today, so he's over there taking care of the little one. Everything is fine. He'll be back tomorrow, so that should be exciting for him. I don't know. Maybe he can check in today, but right now, or maybe, Neil, if you're watching, send us a picture. A lot of the viewers right now looking to see what's going on, but we do have trade of the day coming up at 11 o'clock. I'll be going over one of those trades with you guys as, right now the market making a little move back to the upside. So this is why it's important. If you want to count your dollars, you definitely want to check out what's going on with Money Talks with Brendan at the big screen.
Hey guys, yeah, currency time. Let's jump into FX world and have a look at what is moving around. Want to start right away with the Canadian dollar. Back higher again today. Obviously, crude oil heavily tied to the Canadian currency. We're seeing some U.S. dollar strength, but also Canadian dollar strength. So a nice little move here. Uptick for the CAD, about 70.6 now for the Canadian dollar versus the USD. Everything else, because the U.S. dollar is seeing a little bit of a tick higher, pretty weak on the day. The euro, also, if I move down here, the Turkish lira moving lower. Australian dollar, there was some negative business sentiment data out in Australia overnight. So the Aussie getting hit a bit, about 0.5% to the downside. 60.4, that means New Zealand also in negative territory, ever so slightly there, 59 and change. British pound was positive earlier, but has now gone negative. So 123.7 for the British pound. It was up about 0.5% at one point today. The euro pound, that means also in negative territory. Japanese yen, Swiss franc, these typically trade one and the same, a little bit of a risk off type of idea when it comes to the Japanese yen, the Swiss franc, now both in positive territory, 107.9 and 97 and change. I'd like to check in on the cryptos. We were at 6,200 for the beginning of the week, Monday and Tuesday. We're back up to about 6,800 for Bitcoin. Nice move today, 6.5% to the upside. Ethereum following suit, about 5 and change for Ethereum. There's the chart of the Canadian dollar. Just wanted to show we're still in that kind of wedge pattern for the Canadian dollar, kind of consolidating around 70.5, guys. That's a look at some of the currencies today. Back over to you.
Wedge pattern, you say? Okay, yeah, currencies there. The Canadian dollar, 70.6%. I'd like to see that get going a little bit. As, of course, we get paid while trading U.S. dollars here as we trade some of these U.S. stocks. But always nice to see. I like to see Canadian dollar making some moves to the negative side for sure. Okay, I just want to bring you guys up on Uber. Look at this. This is a big problem. We just went long 24.90. There's a battle here on size, and Uber's so negative today. This is not normally something that I trade. I should not be going long on a stock that is fighting the market like Uber is. And there we go. We get flushed out of Uber right now, making the moves downside. We're going to go short. You can see that there's some people, some trades following this down. Uber right now, we did put a short in there to go short. It's not filling up. There we go. Now we should be short. Yeah, there it is. Now we're short at 63. The reason why, SSR, it was down more than 10% yesterday. As here we go. We reversed to the short side finally, and it looks like we can slap shot this winner on. Uber right now, 10 pennies in the money. We're short 24.63 now on Uber. So we reverse that frown and turn it upside down as Uber heading to the downside a little bit now. We are getting ready for, like I said, our trade of the, of course, Uber comes right back up. Our trade of the day will be at 11 o'clock. I'll be talking about, I think it was Disney or Boeing or something. So we will check back on that, but I'm gonna have to get out a little bit of this Uber trade here. Did those futures come down far enough there for you, Arun?
No, you know what? They are in that area, and I'm very close to considering going long there. They're sitting at 75.35 right now. Like I said, 75.35. I initially thought 75.20-ish would be enough of a level. I'm not going to go with that. I'm going to go with 74.80 as my stop. If I go for the long, I'm looking for a lot of information here. There seems to be activity on both sides. Let's see how this one plays out. Yes, of course, it takes off 15 cents or 15 points at the moment. But we'll leave this one be. And you know what? At the same time, Apple, the one I've been holding on to, it's been out, it's been in, and now we're back to being down about flat, almost 20 cents actually. We're out of the money. Again, this one's a long-term trade for me. At the same time, it gives me kind of an indication of what the futures are thinking as well, right? Because Apple is the biggest weight in the NASDAQ futures. So at the same time, both have to be kept in mind. And I'm, just pulled up COG, it just took off. It just took off the bottom, the 1630, and now 1617, and we broke some big support there. So a lot of things to factor in. I'm going to keep an eye on it, and in the meantime, we're going to go to Brendan and see what he's got for us.
Guys, one name we haven't talked about yet today, Shopify. You can have a look at it either in Toronto or in New York. Down 10% here in Toronto, 10.25%. In fact, they suspended their 2020 guidance today. So big move down for Shopify on that news today. And then we were talking about with Kevin O'Leary a little bit yesterday. Sean.
Yeah, we're not going to, Shopify. We talked about a big Canadian name to trade there yesterday, and yeah, Kevin, we both mentioned their Shopify as we like that one as well. I know Neil likes this one. This is the best, what a great opportunity to buy Shopify right now. Down 10%, you're not going to see that happen too often to Shopify. So look, I think, and this, we don't give investment advice or anything. These are just opinions for you guys to pay attention to, but Shopify, one of the best Canadian companies here, and we're really proud of it in our country. So we'll hit the the Canadian flag for this one. But look at Shopify on this run. This is a daily chart here, and we don't have to tell you this run. If you guys are day traders, you should know all about Shopify. I mean, if you just go back even to November of 2019, you know, Shopify down here making this nice base at 287, rips to 560 here. Now we're coming right back, and look at this bounce spot again, 303. This is the March 18th, you know, March 16th, 17th, 18th, when we had all that chaos in the market. The bottom was 305. So if you can pick something up now and you do like the possibility of a recovery in the economy, Shopify is a great little spot right here. Let's check it out on a on the daily chart. That's what that was. Here's a 1 minute chart. You know what? I'm actually preferring the short here on a 344.25 break just for a daily trade. But right now you can see the spread is nearly 80 cents or so on New York. Let's check out what it is in Toronto. That's shop.to. The same symbol, different extension. 490, yeah. See, so this spread, you're almost better off trading it in New York if you're going to trade the spread game, because wow, this spread is $1.80 right now in Canada. So you're going to have to use our friends match now, try to slip in. And we have Lawrence Rose coming here from Omega. So try to slip in a little Omega here, get a preferred fill on the bid if you're looking long or short. But you can maybe even trade this one in between the spread if you are getting jiggy with it. And you know what, Uber, I talked about you. I like you as a trade, but now you're moving upside. Give me a break. This one has destroyed me today. It's been my only losing stock today, Uber. So you know what? I'm switching, guys. I'm hailing rides with Lyft now. Uber, no longer a big fan of you, but we'll see. We are now short 24.70 here on Uber. Give me a break. We've been punching long, punching short on this name. Can't seem to solve this rhyme, guys. But that's enough for me right now. We are getting ready in about a minute. I'll be heading to the big screen to talk about the trade of the day. But Arun, did you able to put anything on in the last couple minutes?
No, you know what? I was waiting on that Apple to turn around. It's finally starting to turn around. That thing's up 20 cents in the money now. I am keeping an eye on COG like we talked about. That thing is sitting around that 16. It's not doing a whole lot. Futures. Man, futures, 75.30 is roughly the area as I said, right? And then we kind of came down, caught a little bit of buying. Wasn't enough for me to step into a long. That's a quick 30 points for you guys. Anyone that's doing a quick scalp, you know, the areas are there. I'm obviously looking for a little bit more information because my holding time is a little bit longer. Yes, that Apple, I held on to that one. I've still got some of that. Microsoft and all those positions are done. But this one specifically, futures, if you're trying to make that quick scalp, the levels, you guys can use those levels and try to make much quicker trades. They are there for you, and they're, you know, for the most part, they're accurate, at least for me, the way I trade anyways. DHT is another stock that I was keeping an eye on. DHT is now breaking that 625. Well, they broke that 650 is what I was looking at. It's now gone 25 cents. So I missed my trade on DHT. I was looking at it, but it's but that trade's gone now. So at the moment, we're gonna have to scour through the U.S. stocks, and I'm sure Valeria's got some European updates for us that can help us. Maybe, you know what? Maybe going into the European close, that can help us.
Valeria.
Hey everyone, welcome to the European update. Europe is in positive territory today. Earlier today, some indices were slightly down, but Europe bounced back up. And now let's take a closer look. Britain is up 1.45%. Germany is up 0.88%. Italy is up 1.77%, and Russia is the best performer today in the Europe, up 4.59%. Well guys, some quick news from Russia. Moscow is launching an app to track movements of people who are being sick with the coronavirus and have been received order to stay at home. Also, President Putin announced that he's going to record a speech that will be available today after 4 p.m. Moscow time. That's all for now, and I'll keep you updated. Back to Brandon.
All right, guys, let's jump into trade of the day here. We're going to review one of Sean's trades from the morning, talk a little bit about, the hows, the whys, the levels that he was looking at. So many things moving around in the pre-market. It was a bit of a tough morning because of that weekly jobless claims number that kind of came out in the middle of nowhere. We were, positive, we went negative, and then back to positive. So a lot going on in the pre-market specifically. We did talk about the airlines and specifically Boeing. Boeing announced a voluntary layoff program that would allow some of their employees, if accepted, to continue getting paid and continue with their benefits. So Sean was all over Boeing. Let's go over to him.
Well, thank you. What a busy day here today. And I was just talking with Rob, and we're light staffed here. Arun's new today. Neil's not here, and I think we've been doing a fantastic job. Thank you to Brendan and Valeria as well today. Good job, guys, and Lucas as well. Okay, guys, Boeing right now. This is why, look, I've only made one trade on it, but I wanted to make it the trade of the day. I think I will have over 250 fills today in general, but Boeing right now is only 4 fills. So you're going to see this trade. We did talk about this in the pre-market. Obviously, there was some news, and we try to run through a bunch of different stocks. Look, I could have easily chosen Carnival Cruise Lines. That's my biggest stock today. We could have talked about Microsoft, Apple, everything like that. But Boeing, I liked it because of the structure. So shout out to my trading partner there, Neil. He always talks about structure and why we like these certain trades. Now, Boeing has been a wild one. It's not going to look like we made much money on this one as far as percentage-wise on the trade. But again, it's all about the risk that you take, how many shares you have, and if the trade is structured properly. This allows us to sometimes get $3, $5, $10. We've taken $20 on Boeing before on the show. We've taken $20, $30 on Tesla before. And it's all the same flow. It's the same structure. What we're talking about here is just level breaks. So as you see here in the pre-market, Boeing makes that huge move down. We did get that bad jobless claims number. I think it was 3.5 expecting. They got, 6.6? So a big miss there, depending. I mean, we all knew that was going to happen. I don't know why they guided so low, they predicted so low in the first place. But a big move down, and then all of a sudden, a nice little easy 130 level started to appear. And what I thought was, this little bottom tick here is 130, right? No, sorry, 130.50. It's this level right here, that's 130. We crash down there before bouncing back up $2 or $3, then make that move on the jobs number. When we come back in there, that's a level that I love and will take long every single time. We did have some banter in the pre-market. Not sure if we got that clip, but we're going to run our first clip right now to see our entry spot. Talk about a fun stock to trade the last couple of days. I was loving the short through 130 yesterday, and you can see this little level right here. Kept bouncing off 130, then eventually, guys, in the aftermarket, it broke. So this was a great long yesterday, bouncing off this 130, and then today, we're right there again. So I love Boeing here to the long side if it can get above this 130. You can see the bottom here, 130 again, and this morning at 8:40, comes down, hits 130, done. Then when it breaks it, obviously, it just crashes down $3. So I like Boeing to the long side, 8:30. There goes Luck and Coffee right now. Okay, so this is the thing. When we host a show, we're trying to give you guys absolutely everything, and Luck and Coffee was a banger. Actually, that's my number one stock. We could have done Luck and Coffee today as well. The thing about Luck and Coffee is when it drops down there to that $4 mark, we did see some resistance there and some back and forth. That's why that was an easy long for me. I'll talk about that when I get back to my desk. But you did hear us talk, Brendan, all about those key levels. And this is why the preparation is key. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. We do this every single day, but you got to make sure that you log in at 9 a.m. because we have a list of stocks, more to come on that as well. We have a list of stocks that we review certain trade ideas and certain possibilities. I noticed this dip down at 8:40. We talked all about that, and it gives us our entry point, Brendan. What a great way to start the day.
Yeah, great point. Worth mentioning, guys. Yeah, if you join us at 9 o'clock every day, we go over everything that's moving in the pre-market, talk about some of the news related to those names, talk about some of the levels we should be looking at as far as putting a trade on. Stay tuned. As Sean said, more information coming about getting your hands on that list of stocks and explain the research behind it as well on a daily basis. But all kinds of opportunity. Boeing, yeah, moving back to the upside after the initial flush out off of that jobs number. So a great look, buying that even when it's looking kind of weak. The future is starting to bounce. Boeing, a name Sean comfortable to take the long end. Let's go to the next clip.
And oh yeah, Boeing, we long that one as well. We're long 130. I did take that. We put our money where our mouth is a little bit there, taking that 130 long. However, we did not take any out. Thanks for bringing that to my attention there, Arun. I did notice that we did get all the way up to 131, but I'm long Boeing right now. Okay, so I actually have to give a big shout out to Arun because for a couple of reasons here. We talked about this in the pre-market again. Join us every day for that. He mentioned 132 could be a little bit of a problem, and that's this level right here in the pre-market. We bumped. The same reason why I like 130 long is the same reason why you should have maybe liked 132 to the short side, right? Look at this. If I could have but before coming up here, you draw a line right here. This is 132 all the way across. It actually even tops up right there, so great call on that one. And what I did not notice, should have put an order up here at 132. Like we just said there, I missed that. We're just trading so many different things. So what happens is I take out a third of my position right away. This is the highest point at that time. It breaks up to 131 here before crashing all the way back down, right? So the next time it revisits 131, I'm getting out. So I take out of a third right there. That's $1 winner. So that's great. Depending on the shares, that's not bad. It does run to 132. That would have been a great spot because look, 1, 2, 3, that's a triple top. Normally that's a good sign to either break higher or get out. So I should have put probably a stop order in this area to get out of that one. But we do fade back down. And why don't we roll our next clip and see some more trade management. And guess what? Here goes Boeing. Let's go, Boeing. Bang! There's 90 cents right there on Boeing. As the market trying to get going here, we are positive now 1%. Let's go, Boeing, guys. Long 130 and change. Okay, so we get a little excited there, and the reason why we're excited, remember, we can't see what's about to happen, so all I'm seeing there when we're getting elevated is these green candles. So you're seeing a big little action spot there on Boeing. We take out a third for $1 there. We're thinking we could break this 132 and start heading upside right now. I believe there's only one clip left, so what we'll do right now is just talk a little bit about why I got out of that last part. So we take this 1, 2, 3. That's generally how I trade. I love having 3 outs, especially on bigger names. Look, on something like Carnival where you can have thousands of shares, I don't mind getting out like 100 at a time or 150, 200 at a time. But when you're trading a stock like Boeing, 1, 2, 3, we get it out. And the reason why it's super, super important, and you're going to hear me talk about it again in a couple seconds, is we get out here for $1. Then we get out here as it comes crashing back down. We're realizing that the 132 is going to hold, and we're not going to get that. So we break down through this 1 minute VWAP there, and we get out at 130.50. So that's $1 on the first third, 50 cents on the last third. And then you say, okay, what are we going to do with that next trade? I hate letting a winner turn into a loser. So we just make the trade very, very simple here, guys. We put that out at basically the same price, 129.50, 129.80, whatever it was there, making sure that this does not happen to us. Look at this epic fall. If I am still in a third of my trade, remember, we make $1 on this one and then 50 cents there. So that's $1.50 we've captured on Boeing, right? If I don't get out of this position right here, Brendan, look what winds up happening. It goes all the way down to 125 and change. So I'm celebrating $1. I'm celebrating 50 cents. What do I do when I take a $5 hit down here, right? So that's why we put that stop order here right now. Why don't we run the last clip and then we'll go back to Brendan for some comment. I just want to let you guys know we did take out a little bit of that Boeing, so we only have 1/3 left. It broke through that 130.50, so we actually got filled at 61. Good little trade. I'm dropping this, man, if we break down below 129.75. I know it's not a very long term hold for me, but we will wait to see if that one can move back into the money for us. Okay, yeah, so I'll wrap this up and then we'll go to Brendan. You did hear me talk about it, and that's the one thing, guys. Talk about education. This is what we like to do on the show. Check out our other YouTube videos. They're littered all over the place on our YouTube page. The educational segments, there's a whole bunch of them. We talk about VWAP, why we like it. We talk about stop orders, entries, and exit points. And look, you need to think about your trades at all times. When this happened, I had 4 other trades on, right? So you do have to watch out. That's why sometimes we get taken out of our trades that we don't really mean to, just because the action is there on those symbols and we're looking at so many other things. That's why this stop order is so key, Brendan, because if I don't have this here and I'm looking at something else, this is literally, like, these are 1-minute candles. You're falling basically $1 every minute there. So if I don't have that out, you know, depending on the amount of shares you have, even if you have 100 shares, 1, 2, 3, that's a $400 or $500 hit in a blink of an eye. So it's very hard to manage your portfolio if you do not have stop orders in. So that's your trade of the day. I could have chose many things. Luckin was fantastic. CCL was fantastic. Uber, not so good. But Boeing right here was a great trade. You can see it starting to fade back down. This is why I love the structure of it. Makes a lot of sense to me. And this all happened basically, guys, right at the open. So chaos is there, but I'm really proud of the way we're able to handle this trade.
And a great point Sean raises, in the sense that you have to plan out your trades. Obviously, a stock that's showing some weakness in the pre-market, kind of trending back to the downside along with the overall futures. But Sean's still not afraid to take a long on a breakout of a significant level that he identified earlier, knowing that it could be a very short-term trade. Turns out to be a short-term trade. Quick little scalp, still, positive winning trade as well. But you can't be afraid to take those kind of counter trend moves as you see them developing, even though the overall market environment may be weak and the stock itself moving to the downside. Boeing, all kinds of opportunities today, all over the place, including in the market itself. But great trade of the day there for Sean. BA, the trade of the day. Let's go back to the guys.
Right. Wow. Yeah. Hey, guys, I'm back. Why don't we throw it to Arun for a couple minutes, see if he would trade anything. But I did want to talk about Uber. You're my friend again, Uber, and we'll talk about that in a couple seconds.
Yeah, Sean. So that Apple position that I was holding on to, I finally gave up on that one, scratched the last half of that one, gave up on Apple. It's not doing what I wanted to do. There should have been some more activity to the upside. We got as high as 243.29 or 243.30, and then we kind of just came back. That tells me there's some selling there. Market's also at the time, it was at some resistance, dropped it out, scratched the trade, still came out ahead on Apple after scratching the trade and making, I believe, quite a bit on the first half of the position. So on that initial move up. So Apple, that's done. CCL, we were talking about CCL earlier, and we were saying that, I said I was gonna hold this unless we either take out the 40s or we break the 780s. And we got up to there again into that 40 area, and there was too much selling there. So you know what? I dumped it. I gave up on that position because at that point in time, it tells me way too much information that there's selling up in that area, and I want no part of this. Even in a long-term trade, sometimes you got to scratch those trades if they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing in certain areas, or you're expecting them to do in certain areas. At that point, I gave it 2 chances to take that 240 out, 250 out, and they never did. And the third time we got up there, we found too much selling. So you know what? I gave up on that one, and just in time, it's back down to 816. So I got out around 235. It's at 816. So that was well timed. That great. Sometimes, he was talking about trade management. Sean was talking about trade management. That's what you got to do. Sometimes it's worth it to hold because the risk reward is there. Sometimes new information comes on and you got to respect it, right? So right now I've got no positions. I'm keeping an eye on XOM around this 40, 70,
Can you go grab me
75 area as a support, potential long. We'll see how this plays out. And while we're waiting for this, we're going to go to Brendan, see what he's got to say for us.
We've been talking a lot about energy stocks today, guys. We don't see this very often, but wanted to point out Crescent Point Energy here in Toronto, 26% move on the day. This thing was halted on a volatility halt here, 150 at the top. We're back to about 135, but relative volume through the absolute roof on CPG as well, guys.
Okay, CPG, we'll have a look at that. And the reason why, okay, Uber, I'll ride you again. We'll take you, we won't take Lyft. Okay, Uber, look at this move, guys. Finally back down here. We were short all the way up here. We did get stopped out at 90. We go back short again, 87. Look, I'm not going to go long this name anymore. I talked about the reasons why. any stock that is down 3% today in a 2% up market, I want to fade every move back up. And again, just got carried away too much earlier on and put too much risk on the long. So that's my bad. We are going to be negative on Uber, but we're making a lot of that back right now. As you can see, I come right back and punch out a little bit in the 50s, so the low 50s. It seems like it wants to bounce off 50. Our Uber short right now is 24.84, so that's a good trade. Unfortunately, part of the problems of doing this show is I left an order out to get long. So when Apple broke back above 243, thank you, Valeria, saving the day here with a nice little water. They're talking a little bit too much today. I know that's odd for me, but back up to 240, 250. We had to get out of some of our Apple trades, so that hurt me a little bit, getting stuck in that trade. I actually didn't even realize that I had that order in there, but now coming back to the upside, as is Uber. But we are going to get out of some of this Uber if it breaks above 2460. So that's what it is right now. Apple long, CCL. Apple long by accident, CCL long on purpose, and Uber with a nice little 27 penny short right now, guys. Arun, any thoughts?
Yeah, you know, this futures, at this point in time, I'm looking at the futures here, and yeah, you know, I like the long of the futures, but the problem with this is at this price, at 75.72 on the NQs, it is dead center inside of some sideways action, so I'm not going to step into this here. No. I'm waiting for some activity below 75.40. I'm willing to go all the way down 75.40 to 75.20. If we start to hesitate a little bit, I'm willing to step into a long and use 74.80 as my stop. So I'm going to be risking 40, 50 points on this. You know, that kind of position trading might not be for everybody, but for me, that's how I would like to position it. You got to risk, especially in this market, you got to be willing to put up some capital, especially on the futures. So right now, there's not a whole lot happening on the futures at these prices for me. At the same time, stock seems to be going sideways. You know, it is hitting 11, just after 11:15 now, Eastern time. And after that initial news and a lot of oil stocks, Apple as well, a lot of big movers there. And then we kind of just tapered back down. You know, I've closed most of my positions. I've closed all my positions out. And we're just waiting at the moment. Futures is not anywhere I want to make a trade. Stocks, maybe XOM is close to a trade, but again, we got to wait for that breakdown just below that 40.70 area. And at the moment, there's not a whole lot on Exxon. Apple's gone sideways. CCL, again, we dumped that trade. There's nothing there for me at least. BA though, BA might have a chance here. If we can take 128, we may have a shot at the short. While Sean was doing the trade of the day, I was actually keeping an eye on BA. And I wanted to take the break of 131, but it moved pretty quick. So I was not willing to put up the extra risk associated with that, taking that quick shot there. So that's gone $1.50 now since where I was considering that short. The next entry for me, I'm thinking, is 128 break. If we can take that, I might be able to take assuming that it doesn't just fall apart as soon as it goes through, I might be actually able to get into an entry there. All the other markets, yeah, they're just coming off now. Again, with the futures at the areas they're at, I'm not seeing a whole lot. USO, I know some guys like to mention USO having a love-hate relationship. That is the oil fund there. That is the oil ETF tracking ETF. Yeah, you see it going sideways, right? You see USO going sideways after that initial move, and that's how the rest of the market's going as well. So I got nothing here at the moment. I'm just waiting. Sean, have you come up with anything?
Yeah, no, that's good. Thanks for bringing up that USO. And yeah, everybody knows my favorite symbol is Mr. Softy. So Microsoft is my favorite symbol to trade. I see some people there mentioning yeah, there it is, Mr. Softy. What up, Dax? Hit the fireworks. Those of you that have watched the show more, Dax is a seasoned veteran, of course, knows about that stock. So that was an easy one for me. Valeria, I'm surprised you didn't guess that as well. But Apple, I like Apple. And you know what? I actually really do like Uber, man. Uber's been a cash cow for me the last month or so. Been loving trading this name, and it's been primarily just whatever way the market's been. So that's why today we get burned a little bit here going long, but now we cash it on the short. I talked about getting some out at 24.60. There's that structure again. So now we're about half in on our Uber trade right now. Oh, we are ready, actually. No, this is a big guest of the day, and we're really happy to have Lawrence Rose from Omega ATS with Brendan. So let's throw it over to Brendan at the desk for our guest of the day segment.
Yeah, you said it. Thanks, Sean. Really happy to have Lawrence Rose back with us once again from the Omega ATS here in Toronto. If you are a trader that is looking at the Toronto markets, trading the Toronto markets, listen up, because you're about to learn a whole bunch about Omega specifically. We'll talk about some of the things that have happened over the past couple of weeks. Obviously, very, very volatile markets. That obviously raises some technical issues, or technical challenges, I should say, when it comes to managing order flow and, extremely high volumes right across the board. So let's bring in Lawrence, guys. There he is. Good morning, Lawrence. How are you?
Good morning, Brendan. How are you? I'm doing well. Thank you very much.
Lawrence, obviously joining us remotely with everyone, keeping on the social distancing rules and trying to stay attuned to everything that is going on in the world. Lawrence, I hope you and yours are doing well during this just unprecedented and challenging time.
Yeah, I think, excuse me, I think it's super important that we all follow the guidelines set for us by public health and the governments, local and global. And it's absolutely unprecedented times. The fact that we're able to operate our marketplace remotely, and all of our clients are doing similar things, and the markets are continuing to operate and be resilient is very, very important to the current environment. I did want to make sure that I hope everybody on your side and your community is staying healthy and safe and following the guidelines and getting through this very, very unprecedented time.
Yeah, we're doing our best, to say the least. We've separated everyone on the floor here, and we've separated all three of the guys here on the show. So we're all in our separate corners and doing our part as well. But yeah, it's just been an absolute nightmare, from a social standpoint, to see all of these, different conditions coming into play. But let's get into some of the markets here. We'll talk about how things have been over the past couple of weeks. I want to specifically kind of concentrate on this volatile period. I mean, we're just 2 days into the second quarter. Why don't we start with a little bit of a look backwards? Tell us how overall things were, with the first quarter of the year as far as Omega's concerned. Obviously, a very volatile end to that quarter.
Right. Well, obviously, operating a venue, volatility is our friend, but was not the type of volatility that we certainly wanted to see in this manner. But the most important thing from a marketplace standpoint, when markets are volatile like this and the volumes are significantly elevated, is to maintain resiliency. And I'm proud to say that Omega has done that during this time. We're continuing to see significant volatility and volumes in the market. The other thing that I think is really interesting is about this market is that there's drastic changes from one day to the next. So you look at today, for example. I'm just looking at a screen that's showing me volume today versus just yesterday. And of course, we had the tweet from Trump this morning on the oil market, which is driving things. Volumes at this point in the day versus yesterday in the market are up 54%. These type of numbers are unprecedented in this the environment we're seeing right now. So for us, it's very, very important to make sure that we're available to our subscribers, that our market is resilient, that we're attracting liquidity and giving our clients good fills. And I'm proud to say that our team has done an exceptional job of delivering on that from remote locations. And we will continue to do that as long as it's required. Yeah, and obviously congratulations, to you and your team for, a great job in keeping the order. And you mentioned it there, how important it is to maintain the transparency and maintain the, ability for people to access equity markets during these, immensely volatile periods. Talk about maybe a little bit of the challenges that are raised when it comes to such increased order flow and increased volatility, especially from an infrastructure standpoint. I mean, things are set up obviously to run on a daily basis on an average volume flows. Maybe talk a little bit about what happens when we get these increased volatility periods. Sure. So I think what most marketplaces are seeing is, their volumes of matched orders are increasing significantly, but the volume of actual orders submitted into the order book is a multiple of that. And that's what really pushes the systems. The systems need to be able to handle the messages coming in, orders coming into the book, cancels, fills, all the different types of messages. And what we've been seeing on our side, and I suspect others as well, is probably a 4 to 5 time multiple on what would be a typical order volume day from before this whole pandemic started to take shape. So, what do you do to maintain resiliency is you make sure you're looking at your systems very, very closely throughout the day. If you notice anything being pushed to any kind of limit after the end of the day and at night and during non-market hours, you make sure that you're expanding your capacity and that you are looking at measures that you can take to make sure that your marketplace is resilient. So last week and so far this week, I would say it hasn't been as active. We'll see. The jury will be out for today. But during the prior 2 weeks, when the pandemic was really starting to kind of come out in terms of news from governments every day, we were basically doing this almost every night, just making sure that we had enough capacity to process the orders, and that if we had extra room, we were creating even more room. Because, like I said, we're seeing sort of multiples of order messages that we just haven't seen before. So yeah, that's kind of the overview of what we've been doing. Definitely been some technical challenges just in terms of making sure we're on the ball.
And you mentioned, Lawrence, a multiple when it comes to messaging, specifically a multiple of what you are used to seeing. Do you typically run systems on somewhat of a benchmark, or maybe some sort of a moving average as to what is that normal, and then anticipate the expectation of something, as you said, a multiple higher, or is it just wiggle room back and forth throughout the day?
Well, that's what's fascinating about this experience. Yes, of course, we did do that, but the benchmark has changed. The benchmark, the goalposts have been expanded. So that's why, the most important thing is to be proactive and preventative. And as you see volumes and order messages growing, if your benchmark has moved, you can't just stick with that benchmark. You have to create more space. You have to look at your systems and make sure that they can handle the volume and add a multiple on top of that. So yes, we've done that, and I can tell you that while we had a benchmark before in terms of making sure we had excess capacity, that there's a new benchmark in place now, and so far I think things are running quite well.
Fantastic. Let's get into some individual areas that are showing maybe increased volumes at this point. Obviously volumes across the board have been just off the charts. Is there any particular groups or maybe sectors in the market that you're seeing, something that's maybe a little bit more surprising?
Well, frankly, there's not a lot of surprise from my point of view, but I did have the team pull some data for March, and we're, it's obviously still the first couple of days here in April, so we're still parsing through things. But as you would expect, our top traders were, I would say, looking at the different sectors, market ETFs, energy stocks, and mining. So really sort of the Canadian staple natural resources stocks, obviously with the oil price movements, that was contributing to that. And with the market volatility, the market ETFs were also very, very high up on our list. Haven't had a chance yet to compare this, I guess, versus previous months, but on past shows, I've described that, in certain months, for example, there were 4 or 5 cannabis names that were, in our sort of top 10, top 20. And right now, if I look at our top 20 traders for last month, there's really only one cannabis name, and everything else is energy or index related.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear that. We saw when the Canadian government came out and said that, the cannabis shops can stay open, they're essential services. That kind of got a little bit of an uptick for the group right across the board as far as activity goes, volume anyways. But interesting to hear that. Are you seeing, I guess today is probably an ongoing situation, but are you seeing again today with the move in oil, obviously some energy names popping back up?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So, the names that you would expect to see high volumes are on Cenovus. I think Cenovus this morning announced that they cut their dividend. So again, which these type of movements in this environment should not be surprising, but when they happen, they do send waves through the market. But in a market like today, you got to balance that with the oil tweet that Trump sent out, which is giving a lift to the oil energy sector generally. So I think the point is there's lots of room for in terms of the volatility of these stocks for making money. You just got to be well positioned and have great technology and have confidence in your venues and make sure that you're effectively trading during this environment, and obviously watching your risk as well, because things can move pretty quickly. But Cenovus, Suncor, Meg Energy, Baytex, Husky, those are kind of like the top names that I'm seeing in terms of volume right now for us.
Definitely never a dull moment when it comes to a news-based market environment these days, that's for sure. Anything coming up in the next few months or over the next few weeks even, Lawrence, that you want to let everyone know about?
No, we're going to continue to make sure that resiliency is the number one priority for us. And the other thing I think that's interesting, it probably applies to all of our businesses, is just since we're physically isolated, is to make sure that we're continuing to reach out to our clients, our partners, for you as well. I think it's just important to maintain some level of social contact. I know there's been lots of dialogue between sort of social distancing and physical distancing. What we're really doing is physical distancing. I would encourage people to continue to use these technologies that we have available to us, like Zoom and other group chat functions, to just make sure you're keeping in touch with people. I think in the near term, let's just make sure we are serving our subscribers well and maintaining our resiliency. Obviously we have two marketplaces. We've talked about it in the past. We've got Omega and Lynx. Interestingly, in last month, when the volumes were at elevated levels, we were starting to see Lynx trade over 1 million shares a day, which I know is a small number, but for us it was an interesting benchmark that it eclipsed. And we have some new things planned for Lynx. I'll probably save that for a future show, but we will continue to make sure that that we're here and available, and that our clients are happy with the fills they're getting on Omega.
No, that's fantastic to hear. Obviously, a little bit of an uptick right across the board, especially with Lynx. Congratulations on that. Amazing time when it comes to, you mentioned technology there. We have the ability to sit here and have a conversation while, being significantly apart for a conversation. But always great to see you, Lawrence. Best of luck, obviously, in the next coming weeks and months. Stay well and keep in touch.
Thanks very much. Same to you, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the studio sometime soon.
Fantastic. Lawrence Rose, everybody, from the Omega ATS here in Toronto. Head over and check out their website if you need any more information on Omega. Great information in general about Omega on their website. We'll send it back over to the guys.
Yeah, thank you so much there. And Lawrence is definitely a friend of the family. He's been on the show live here in studio a bunch of times, so we'll welcome him back when the social distancing or physical distancing, whatever you want to call it these days, is corrected. And as you can see here, normally Arun and myself, Neil and Arun, we're all right beside each other. We can bump elbows, but today, hey Arun, he's across the room. There he is. Hey Arun, what's up? We're about like 15 feet away from each other here, and then me and Valeria are about that 6 feet that they recommend as well. So, and Brendan back on the desk. So look, it's been an interesting time for us here, needless to say, as we continue to monitor these markets. And look, we think it's important that we come in every single day to help you guys go through these markets as well. We're staying safe, and we know you guys are as well. Let's just keep listening to those rules, as frustrating maybe as it can be sometimes. We're all doing this for the future. So that's my little rant on that. But welcome back, because right now Uber is going to be free for a little while, because as you can see here, Uber, guys, right down to basically the lows that we were thinking about. I don't think we get to 24 even unless this market absolutely crashes, but which could come through. We'll see right here, guys, 24.25. Right now we still are short. You know what? This is a good time. Let's call up our open orders, our open positions right now, and see what's going on. Here's what we got. We're averaging in a little bit to our Carnival Cruise Lines. I did flip it to short, guys. We were long Carnival. Now we're out and we're short. We broke down below that 810, so you're going to see me short now 807. And bang up. There's the Uber trade right now. 55 cents in the money, so that is multiple thumbs up for me right here as we continue to enjoy that trade. We are going to be coming up to our review section coming through very soon after we get to Valeria, but around 11:40 every single day, guys, we review some of the trades that we've made and go over some of the mistakes, missed opportunities, but you know, I think today we've done a pretty good job reviewing some of those. I know I will want to talk about Luckin Coffee, so if you guys are interested to see how I pulled, I don't know how many dollars it says at the bottom there, but we pulled multiple dollars out of Luckin Coffee today. That's turned out to be a fantastic trade as Uber still goes downside. As far as CCL here, you might wonder where I'm going to get out. I think my order's here at, 818 or so, so right near this VWAP. I just don't want to let that break because I'm wondering if they get some acceleration. We are dug into probably too many shares for this time of day. And I think that's also a big thing, guys. Time of day, right? You got to make sure that you trade appropriately. I personally love the action in the morning. The first 20 minutes is kind of my hot spot. And then heading after 10 o'clock, we get some economic numbers. That's generally when a lot of the news hits. You did see that big move up here in oil names, including XOM. That was an absolutely banger trade for me as well, all the way to the upside. We almost get out perfect. And if anybody likes this, you could put in the chat. Where is it? Where is it? Here it is. Let me know, guys, if you know which game that's from. Put that in the chat right there, and you will win a free lifetime supply of trades from yours truly. But that's put that in the chat if you do know what it is. For everybody's favorite segment, we'll go to European update at the big board. European close, sorry, it's closed. At the big board with Valeria.
Guys, welcome back to the European update. Europe is closed now and closed in the positive territory. Let's take a closer look. Britain is up 0.6%. France is up 0.46%. Spain is up 0.15%, and Italy is up 1.63%. It's all for today with Europe, and back to guys.
Oh, that was fast. Yeah, I was writing in here in the chat. Yeah, everybody got that. And we'll hit it again. Yes, uppercut. There we go. We get that going there. Yeah. My favorite character is yours truly there, Ryu. So Ryu or Ken, obviously, good little characters there. I know a lot of people use Guile, but I like the jackknife, but I prefer the uppercuts and the fireballs. So everybody loves those fireballs. If you're ever in Toronto, let's go to a bar and play. You guys can definitely come through. We're sitting here in Toronto, Ontario. Love that game. And unfortunately, CCL goes all the way up to 18, and look what happens again. I get stopped out on what may have been the ultimate high there, so I may go short again and give that 18 one more try, but that CCL there, mistake on that trade. We lost about 8 pennies there, Arun. Yeah,
you know what? Let's talk about trades here. I'm out of all of them. Before we had gone, guys, gone to the interview there, I had talked about BA, that 128 level. We were coming up to it. If we can get underneath and stay underneath, there was a short there. Absolutely. I'll pull up the chart here. That is my entry. I took that entry like I talked about on the show just before we had gone. I said below 128. I got 127.95. Quick breakdown. Got some protection here. So I got covered a little bit, made about 90 cents, I believe, right in front of 127. And then you know what? The action back up was a little too strong, so I got out the other half too. Scratched the trade, made all my money on the first half of the trade. Easy trade, easy, quick trade. There's another trade I was telling you guys to keep an eye on, Exxon. That's this chart here. That was the break of that 40.75 area. You know what? That was an easy 60 cents because, you know, sometimes the trades just go. In this situation, it just went. We broke that 40.70. I believe I got 67 was my entry. It broke to 75. We went down. I got some out at 10, got some out at 15. I'm out of the trade. Obviously, it's going to new lows, but I'm okay. Quick 60 cents is good enough for me, especially coming into this overnight high area. Especially you see the activity here as well. So you know what? I'm willing to move away from this stock with a 60-cent profit. I was in and out by the time we started the interview and ended the interview. That's sometimes, you know what? I do like to hold my positions, but sometimes the trades are that quick. and it's okay. And I'm perfectly happy with them. And the futures, you know what? We're dead center. We've gone sideways. We've done nothing since that run up, since that 1030 run up, all the way up, taking out some levels. Now we've come and pretty much set the ranges between what the bottom is about 75.25, the top is about 75.90. Pretty much since I run up and coming back down. So since 10:45, we've done absolutely nothing for almost an hour now, just going absolutely sideways. So in terms of trading stocks right now, well, in terms of trading futures, there's not a whole lot to do because you're waiting for some sort of movement.
Right.
In terms of stocks, I know if you guys want to take a shot at XOM, is looking like it's going to take another leg down. I'm going to stay out of that one. I don't know about that level. I don't like that level. It just seems like there might be a little bit more activity than I think there is, than I can see right now. So for me, I'm just going to rule that one out. BA, again, an easy trade. What else do we have? Another trade I wanted to go over was that Facebook, what looked like an easy trade turned into a losing trade, and then absolutely just did nothing after that, after it took off about $2 on that news, right? So right now we're just waiting. In the meantime, we'll go to Brendan, see what he's got. Hopefully we can find something in the meantime. Brendan?
All right, guys, we'll jump into the wrap here, and we'll have a look at some individual names that are moving around in the throughout the morning. That is, definitely not the right page, but we'll carry on. We'll talk about some individual stocks that were moving throughout the morning, some trades that the guys took, talk about why they were looking at it and how they were looking at it, and some execution. When we sat down first thing this morning, it was all about luck and coffee. It was about 8:30 to 8:45. The news came out that an private investigative panel had found their COO had done some bad things, and we saw a big plunge in luck and coffee shares in the pre-market this morning. Let's go with LK to start, guys. Let's go over to Sean.
Yeah, and we'll floss this one off. This was one trade that, obviously I wish I still had held everything into this trade, but to me, again, this one is actually not well structured, to be honest with you. It's just kind of a shot in the dark. All of a sudden, we're saying, yeah, this is great, everything's hunky-dory, the day's gonna be fine, blah, 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 blah. I wasn't even thinking about luck and coffee. I prefer trading Starbucks and things like that, but all of a sudden, a report comes out that, there may have been some malpractice there by some of the executives, in particular the COO. Brendan brings that to our attention. This is at 8:30, remember, a.m. So market's not super, well, you know what? The thing is, the markets were awake because we were waiting for that jobless claims number. But look at this, guys, 27 all the way down, and look where we bounce. And I'll see if I can zoom in just a little bit more for you guys here. Yeah, that's not bad. We're bouncing off $4. So all of these blue ticks right here, those are my buy fills. So whenever you see these little ticks here, you know that we've gotten long shares. I was kind of scalping back and forth, like this is a 430 long, and we get out 460 there, and then we take some more long. It actually breaks down below $4. You can see, you can't see here, but the low of the day is 374. So we do get out, but then when it retakes $4 again, Brendan and Arun, this is where really it starts getting accelerated. This never goes against me. So we take a 410 or so long, and then I'll try to zoom in. Yeah, here we go. This looks actually really good. This is the trade I'm talking about here. This is the break out through 4. Then we go long again about 420, I believe it was. And 420. What's up? Shout out to Weed Batman there on that magical 420 number. You can see we go long, and then guess what? I say scalping. Nepa, no more scalping for me. We let this thing just ride straight to the upside. I always get out at 50 cents. So there's one out there as we break above 450. Then we're like, oh my God, this is going to halt. We knew this stock was going to halt. Rips all the way up. And guess what? There I am again, getting out ahead of $5. Love getting out at those even dollars. You guys know that. Bang, there it is. So out for 50 cents, out at that dollar. Then all of a sudden it rips back up. And guess where I'm out again? 525, there's that quarter move. And then we have no choice, man. It halts. And again, it halts for that 15 minutes. So here's 9:31 or so, halts, actually for 10 minutes, sorry. The halts are 10 minutes. It's that volatility halt. That's 15 minutes on the futures. Then you get up 486, and we don't even get anything out because it halts again in 2 minutes. And guys, this is gonna sound like a broken record here, but as I zoom out, there are multiple halts happening in here, halting again, and every every single time we get some out at 550, that's a $1.30 winner. And then we wind up getting some out over here on this halt at 789. Move all the way forward now. As you can see, more halts. Our best out 789. It gets all the way up to 1050. Unfortunately, we're busy trading. These are only opening for 1 minute, guys. So it opens and then halts, opens then halts. We get out on this pullback. What I do is I use this halt as my out spot, $7. It does break down back through $7, Brendan, and we get out. But as you can see now, if I move this chart just a little bit more, it tops out at 880, so I don't consider my 7 too bad. We get out at 880. My big out here though, guys, if we're going to be honest, was this right here, 775. We take most of our shares out right there on this third halt, because like I said, we do have a theory, maybe 1, 2, 3 halts, and then it starts to go back down, and that's actually exactly what happened. So luck in coffee today. We do have, I got to go back. We do have a little coffee graphic here, and yeah, it's been a good one for me today. Luck in coffee. My number one stock as far as profit is concerned, but that's luck in coffee for you guys. 180 million shares. I hope the majority of you guys were on that trade. Brendan, I know it's tough for you to trade on that desk as we continue to switch spots, but were you involved in Luckin at all?
No,
okay.
It's fine. Just wanted to note on that as well. Luckin, the news wasn't terribly clear when it first came out. They were talking about misconduct surrounding the COO. They have clarified that it is financial misconduct. So the wording was not that clear to begin with, but it is definitely financial misconduct. The COO has been suspended from Luckin Coffee. So just wanted to make that clear. We're going to go over and check in with Valeria and get in focus.
Some quick news from over the world. World Health Organization is very concerned right now about fast-spreading coronavirus outbreak, saying that there might be 1 million cases and 50,000 deaths in a few days. New York City State is canceling spring break. It was supposed to start on April 9th until April 17th, though remote studying will still continue through the April. Florida County closing for the lockdown starting tonight. Governor of Florida says that there is not that much cases relatively in Florida, and this decision is right now. Media networks spend billions for sports that they won't receive this year. It's not clear what's going to happen next, and it's most likely will depend whether official sport sessions will be postponed or cancelled at all. President Donald Trump and energy CEOs are planning to meet on Friday and discuss oil prices. Among CEOs is going to be CEO of Chevron, Exxon, Occidental Petroleum, and Phillips 66. Also, Trump said today that he was talking to Russian President Putin, and he expects Saudi Arabia and Russia to announce 10 million barrel cut. Well, that's all for today, and stay in focus. Back to guys.
Thank you, Valeria. We will continue along with our review. Going to go over to Arun here and talk a little bit about the futures in general. Arun typically focusing on the futures side of things. So, I mean, Arun, we had a big move down in the pre-market, obviously off the weekly jobless claims number, recovered all of that decline, and now then some back to the upside. What do we look at in the afternoon here as far as the market goes?
Yeah, so like I've been saying, this market's gone into a sideways range. We are getting near the top end of the market at the moment, right? So let's go over some levels that I've marked off on the NASDAQ. We're going to start off with the longer term perspective. This is the 60-minute chart I've got on my screen here. If you guys can show that here. So what I've got for the bottom here, in terms of as the breakout happens, I've got 74.80 as my level. So I'm putting my stop right there. Why? Because when we take this much activity, keep in mind, this is also there, right? So from around 75, around 3 a.m. on the 30th, all the way coming through here now, as we take the bottom out, there's going to be a lot of activity in this area. So now, even though you may look for a breakout, you got to respect all of that support, which is now support after that flush to the upside. So I'm going to put my stop down at 74.80. Keep in mind, yes, that it's 110 points away, but at the same time, you're waiting for the right setups, right? So 74.80 is what I'm looking at. 7,600, or the top that we just put in, that's the next area that I would consider to take some longs at, right? Keep in mind that trade only has about, 76.20. We got about 30, 40 points before we hit some resistance here on the 60. So in terms of trades for the rest of the day, I will keep an eye on the longs. Even if we take the top out and we go, I'm looking for maybe 40, 50 points before we hit some resistance. So the risk reward has to be proper. If we come down, keep in mind that 74.80 should still act as support in the current situation, unless something drastic happens, maybe another tweet coming out in the opposite direction, flushes the market down again. You can also look back on this 60-minute chart and realize that, you know what, this area here where we put that low in, that 73.74, that corresponds to some lows that were put in on the, 26th, 7 a.m. on the 26th. So there's a lot of activity down below as there is much activity up to the top.
I feel like
so you got to be really, you got to really watch the levels you're using when you take these trades. Make sure the risk reward is there for you. Yes, the trades might go very quickly, but keep in mind if they go very quickly and they run into something that's there, like say 76.80 as resistance, then it could easily just turn around, right? So right now we're looking at the high 76.20 for the NASDAQs, 74.80 on the bottom. If we can make a play in front of those levels, great. If we can make a play if those levels break, that's also great. Those are the two trades that I'm looking at for the rest of the day, potentially. It could easily just also go sideways. If you guys want to play like I personally don't like to play ranges, you can also play a range if you wanted to. You can try to take the short in front of that 7,600 and put the stop at the high and see if that works out. Obviously, you got to be careful because it can get aggressive if they go stop hunting, right? So for me, I like to play those breaks with those levels in mind. I don't just take any break. I do like my levels. I'm sure you guys heard me multiple times on this show. I like my levels. I will play with my levels. I will take size in front of those levels if I need to. For me, it's just all about levels, and I don't draw too many of them. So sometimes I've been talking about the futures all morning, right? Have I taken any trades? No, because they've been moving very aggressively past my levels and haven't given me the proper entries that I want. So I'm okay waiting. So sometimes it's a matter of just waiting and just waiting for the right prices, waiting for the right type of movement for me in terms of if I want to buy, I want to see some activity that supports my position. So for me, that's it. That's all I've got. 74.80, 76.20, which is the high. See if we can make a play in front. If not, we'll try to take the break on the other side of that.
Good stuff. Let's shift back over to the energy land a little bit. It was all about oil stocks today after that tweet from Trump. We saw a big move up in crude futures themselves and also right across the board energy names. I mean, throw a dart at a dartboard, pick one. They were all higher. Sean, you were all over XOM. I just had a look here, 7% still, even off the highs at this point.
Yeah, XOM, loved that one. Give me a little more credit than throwing a dart there, Brendan, but you're right. Any name you have up there would have been exactly what you said there. It was nothing but gold, and we actually, even in this chart, we get again, look at this chart here. It has a break because it just gaps up when that news hits about Trump and Putin and all that fun stuff. You can see a big move up here in oil. This is, 23% today right now to the top side on crude oil. It was even higher, obviously, off this move. Nice little bounce off $22 here. So you could see when this gets elevated right here. And what do? It was kind of an easy picking for me. I'll just actually go over to my chart here. XOM. There we go. I like XOM. We talk about that all the time. I like it more for obviously scalp trades. But today, when that news hits, I know that XOM has a lot of love in it. And a lot of people, we talked yesterday with Kevin O'Leary. If you're just joining us today, we had Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank on and obviously O'Leary Funds as well. So You can see all the way straight to the upside now. I just go over there, and all I really do is, this is simple structure. This is the move. I missed it, right? $38, we're not involved. But it stops up here at 40.50. And again, I love those 50-cent levels. We talk about that over again, probably too much. But, here, I'll hit to go with the Rune here. The Rune talking about key levels. Here's one right here. 40.50 comes through. It comes all the way back to 39.50. Then I say, you know what? Let's play this momentum to the upside. Put a stop order in, get triggered in as soon as that 40.50 breaks. We don't know what's going on. So in the same minute there, that's a 20-cent winner. That's a 50-cent winner. We add that, that's 60 cents, back in 70 cents, and it just keeps going. And like you mentioned there, we did get out our last little bit. It does run all the way up to 41.50. That would have been a clean dollar winner on XOM. However, we do give it some room, and it fades right back down, and we get out at 41.25 for a 70-cent winner. So to me, that's a jaw dropper right there, because well, there it goes. It was not understanding what was going on there. It could have kept going. So we give it that space. Unfortunately, 42, I'll move this title here. 42 is the top. So again, if you're looking for a trade in the afternoon, look what's kind of happening right here. We do have a little bit of consolidation right here on XOM. The top side right here being 40.70 and the bottom being 39.80. I guess you could say 39.70. So you're in a tight little dollar range. I love XOM on a break right here, guys. 40.70 to the long side, I think, is a great opportunity for anybody looking for something in the afternoon. Take this XOM trade long side here, 47. Keep your eye on crude, though. If that continues to fall, prefer the short. But again, it's a well-structured, kind of easy trade here, guys. If XOM breaks above 47, you take 40.70. You take the long. If it breaks below 39.90, you take the short. Almost as easy it goes. But here goes Apple, another level broken right here, 243 and change. Look at the S&P getting elevated to the long side here. So we are long right now. Apple, 242.90. Welcome to a quick little 40 cents. I'll probably take off a third right here if we can get to 243.50 on this futures move to the top side. Look at this, guys, breaking through 2,500. So we go bang, hit some cash out there as the futures continue to go, Brendan.
All right, let's shift over to Zoom. Sean, we were talking about Zoom in the pre-market. We mentioned that the company came out and said that their users, daily users, for the last month soared more than 200 million active daily users in March alone. That compared with a prior all-time high for the company of just 10 million. So 10 million prior, 200 million in March. Sean, Zoom, tell us.
Hey-o, I'm back. Don't worry, guys, I didn't go anywhere. I'm still sitting here. Zoom, look, still down 6%. Lawrence even dropped Zoom's name there in our interview, and everybody's using something, whether it be WebEx, whether it be Zoom, whether it be Skype. There we go. So Cisco with your WebEx, Microsoft with your Skype, and Zoom with your Zoom. So a recent IPO. This stock has been nothing but fire. We talked about that over and over again. It's low now. I mean, people are cashing out of this, but look what happened when coronavirus, the fears started ramping up here in late January, if not early February. This is this break. What a great move off $75 here. Zoom just gets elevated straight up to 165 in all of these fears. Where are people putting their money? A lot of corporations signing up for Zoom accounts, paying that premium dollar there. They know what they're doing. It's a great product. We've had no problems with it. All of our guests using Zoom. But anyways, that's my sales pitch for that. But what we did was going long here. And again, we missed this whole move down. Like, wow, what an epic fall. Looking at Zoom here. Goes all the way down to 115. Wow. What does happen though? It comes rearing back there on that big futures move. And we take the long, I think foolishly, and I don't put a lot of risk into this one. And again, I'll tell you guys when we're risk in, and that will be a lot of trades early on. But when we take the Zoom, it's already 10:15. You can see the elevated volume at the bottom here, but it gets long here. We'll zoom in a little bit. We'll zoom in on Zoom. We take that long, and I talked about not giving this one much room. We only give it $1. So we get long at 126 on that break, but we get out at 125 when it comes through. We hold the third, and that one we take $3 on. So, $1.80 on that one. So Zoom, as I look, we're basically net flat on this stock today. We take a $1 hit on 2/3 and then make $2 on 1/3. So you do the math and you're okay there on Zoom. But ultimately, we would have loved to see this break this level here and continue to go upside. Look at this 130 right now. It's still hovering around. I do like this. And look where the bottom is, guys. This 126 that we took long, it's been the bottom here, and it's been the bottom right here again. So you could definitely play a 126 long if that ever comes back for Zoom. If the market crashes, though, obviously reverse short through 126. A well-structured play again. Wow, it's 12 o'clock. Didn't even realize that. Let's throw it back to Brendan quickly.
Yeah, real quick, guys. We'll have a look at what's coming up after market today as far as earnings. I apologize, I forget who it was, but somebody mentioned Chewy in the chat earlier. This could be why you were seeing it doing some volume today. Yeah, Chewy on the board here today. As far as earnings goes, not a lot else. Dave & Buster's and Constellation Brands, either after market or before the open. Tomorrow, thank you very much to Arun for stepping in for Neil today. Great job. Arun, we'll see Arun around the floor, hopefully a little bit more often as we all continue with these social distancing acts. But thank you, Arun. Great job. Great job, Sean. All the production guys. We're obviously short-staffed here, guys, with this quarantine and a lot of people staying home. So Robbie and Lucas, great job. Thank you, Valeria, as always. That's going to do it, guys. We'll wrap it up at that. Or we'll go over and say hello to Valeria one last time.
Thank you, Brandon. And hey, guys, thank you very much for all of your activity, for all your comments, likes. Of course, give us a little bit more likes before we are leaving, and subscribe for our channel. We are live every day. So if you subscribe, you receive notifications when we are on air. Also, guys, I sent you a link on the chat, so right after this stream, hit the link and we'll continue to trade the noon heading into the close. Sean will be there, Brandon will be there, I will be there. Let's talk about everything we want and share our trades. And guys, as usual, I'm saying what National Day today. So today is amazing day. Anniversary of Sean and his wife, Marisa. They've married for 9 years. And here's a very nice image. So Marisa on quarantine with kids now. And she says that, yeah, that's what she's doing on the quarantine.
Oh, man. This is the thing.
Congrats.
Yes, thank you, Valeria. And yes, I don't have to tell her, but she knows I love her, and it's been a fantastic 9 years. Hopefully, many more if she can withstand this guy. But yeah, look, Tiger King, shout out to Kevin Uterin from NASDAQ Canada as well, and shout out to the wife there for producing that. That was really funny, and I like that. And maybe we could use that more often. But yeah, shout out to Arun. Thank you very much, guys. We are now over time. Join us on the chat and trade. Hopefully, we can drop that link at some point. We will be talking about that. And I don't know, do we want to wrap it up, Brendan, for the rest of the day?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. I had no idea it was your anniversary, guys. Happy anniversary, Marisa and Sean. That's great, 9 years, good stuff. That is officially going to be Sean's profile picture forever and ever going forward. Hopefully on the show. Please, let's make that happen, guys. Yeah, we're way over time. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Have a great rest of the day. Neil's back tomorrow. We'll catch you then.
Fireworks. See ya.